chance to get right back in it. Jonathan Neese and another lefty, Ross Detweiler, get it started right now on MASN.
Washington Nationals baseball.
It's a warm night, a gorgeous night at the ballpark. The guys are back home. The Mets are in town, and you can't be too careful with your bats these days. You never know when you're going to get screamed at by a veteran manager, even though you're not yet 20 years of age. The Nats, 2.5 up on the Braves, 6 up on the Mets. Marlins are 9 back. They're in Chicago. The Phillies, they've got their guys back healthy, and they have high hopes as well. Bob and FP, by the way, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, welcome back.
It is good to be back. Let's talk about what we're going to see in this series, because this is not only the contenders coming into town, but some good pitching matchups, including an all-star matchup on Thursday.
Well, you're in your home ballpark. You played well here all year. Now you got the Mets and the Braves coming in for 7 games, and this is the time of year that I think it's go time. I think it's the most important part of the schedule. You have 10 games against the teams you're chasing right now, so it's very imperative to take care of business against the teams closest to you. So these 10 games, the 7 at home, the 3 in New York, I think are the toughest part of the schedule.
So Ross Detweiler and Jonathan Neese, Nats nemesis Chris Young tomorrow, and Jordan Zimmerman. And then how about Dickey and Gio on Thursday? That'll be a day game. It'll be tough to hit the ball against those dudes.
Yeah, 12:35 start. That's the key matchup of this series. But Ross Detweiler tonight takes the ball with 12 days rest. You remember his last start against the Giants? It was the walk-off game, the double play that wasn't for the Giants, but he gave up 11 hits. It was a bend-don't-break game for Detweiler. Only gave up 3 runs.
He is 3-1 against the Mets career with a 3.60 ERA. Then there's Ryan Zimmerman, who over the last 3 weeks has gone absolutely crazy with the bat. In that Florida series, couple of homers, 3 RBIs, and Ryan down inside Florida, 8 for 15. He's on a 3-week tear right now. Baseball on MASN, brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And right now, the Mets feel it's possible for them to get back in the race over the next couple of days. They're 6 back of the Nationals as this series gets underway, but they're only 20-23 on the road. Visit Train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. just a hint of a breeze. 96 degrees, but thank goodness, again, that humidity staying pretty low for this time of the year. And the Nats are taking the field to take on the 46-43 New York Mets. So Ruben Tejada's their table setter, but really, with the rest of the team struggling, will the Nats pitch much to David Wright in this series? 5th in the league in hits, 4th in batting average, 2nd in on-base percentage, and 7th in RBIs. He's really doing it all for the Mets, and we'll see if the Nats stay away from him. Ross Detweiler makes his 5th career start, his 8th overall appearance against the Mets, and he hasn't pitched in 12 days, so this will be interesting to track early.
Well, you would think he would be strong. We saw it with all the pitchers so far after the All-Star break. Edwin Jackson last night, his velocity was up, but last time Ross Detweiler pitched, it was the July 5th start against the Giants. He got the no decision, and that's 6-5 walk-off win. Kind of a bend-don't-break start for Detweiler. Gave up 11 hits, only 3 runs in 5 innings, struck out 5, walked 2 through 90 pitches, 58 for strikes. So 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball. Curve change from Detweiler. They set the defense behind Ross. Moore, Harper, Morse in the outfield. Espinosa, Zimmerman on the left side. Lombardozzi, LaRoche on the right side. And Jesus Flores doing the catching.
So it's interesting with Ian Desmond nursing that oblique, which Davey Johnson said today, by the way, was worse when he came back after the All-Star break than it was going into the break. Danny Espinosa, pretty much of a natural shortstop, played a lot of that at Long Beach State and in the minor leagues for the Nats. We'll get that call. It is still a very strong defensive infield.
Yeah, we talk about moving guys around. The Nats have the luxury of moving 2 guys to their natural positions. Lombardozzi, a second baseman. Espinosa, a shortstop all through college. So not a big transition. I think the main transition, Bob, is how those guys work together up the middle. Yep. You know, Espinosa and Desmond knew each other's moves by heart. These guys are going to be learning on the fly out there.
Early game notes for you. The Nats have beaten the Mets 11 of the last 15. They're 4-2 against them this year, 2-1 here. And the Nats have to deal with a ball club that's scoring a lot of runs. The Mets are 4th in the league in runs, but they're even better on the road. And the Nationals, 6 consecutive games here with a home run. So they're up there among the hottest home run teams in baseball lately. The Nationals have hit 92 home runs this year, and they've only given up 63. Angel Hernandez is the crew chief. 20-year veteran has the plate. 13-year veteran Mark Carlson first, Chris Conroy at second, and another 13-year guy, Tim Timmons, at third base. Ruben Tejada steps in for the Mets. By the way, New York, 259, 7th in the league in batting average. As I mentioned, 4th in runs. They're one of the bottom 4 teams in power.
Well, that's why I think one of the keys to the series, Bob, is to get a lead early for the Nationals. The Mets are grinders offensively. They're a team that has trouble coming from behind. So if you can get a lead early, 4 or 5 run lead, 3 or 4 run lead, Mets have trouble catching up. And when you talk about how they've played lately, they've lost 4 straight and 5 of their last 6.
Yeah, it has not been a good week and a half for the Mets, who are now only 3 games ahead of Florida. Ruben Tejada hitting at .328. He's on a 5-game hitting streak. 8 hits over that time. 22-year-old infielder from Panama who signed with the Mets at the age of 16. He was hurt the last time the Mets were here, and they had some problems at shortstop defensively without him. 0-2 pitch. Detweiler went right after him, and Mike Morse will go right after that. Routine out to start the game.
Well, you look what Terry Collins did with his lineup tonight. All right-handers except for Ike Davis. And you look at Ross Detweiler's numbers. Left-handers hitting 122 against him. Right-handers 291. Terry Collins playing the percentages, stacking his lineup with righties. Most lefties minus Ike Davis with the night off.
Cedeno hitting at .267. And I'll tell you, they must have a report that says get after this guy early. That's 2 first pitch swings to start the game by Tejada, now Cedeno. And those guys are eager to get on base. You get anybody aboard for David Wright, and you have the potential for a big inning. I think the Nats key here, keep Tejada and Cedeno off base, and then you can do whatever you want to to David Wright. Pitch around him, throw the ball in the dirt, make him fish. With men on base, though, he's tough. That'll be another fly ball to right for Michael Morse. So this is the way you love facing David Wright.
Right now, Ross Detweiler's standing on the mound or walking around the mound saying, oh, this is how tonight's going to go. Mets are coming out hacking.
Yeah.
You use that to your advantage as a pitcher. You know the other team's going to be aggressive, maybe showing your game plan early. Steve McCaddy watching too, saying, okay, they're coming out hacking. You use that to your advantage by maybe getting some first pitch outs and going deep into a ball game.
David Wright hitting .345, even though I knock on Formica here and tell you that he's 0 for his last 7. And there's another first pitch swing by the ever aggressive Mets here.
I mean, they must have had the game plan, the pre-series meetings, and said, hey, do not let Jesus Flores catch a ball tonight.
Wright has pretty good career numbers against Ross Detweiler. 9 at-bats, 4 hits, 1 of them a home run. And fastball's going early here.
Yeah, 3-0-2 counts to start this one up for Ross Detweiler. 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, he went off speed. A little tapper right off the end of the bat. Danny Espinosa loves showing off that arm over at shortstop. What a great first inning, 12 days since his last start. In the league, 10th in runs, 6th in homers. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or log on to Dodge.com and check out the powerful lineup. Ryan Zimmerman owns the month of July right now. He is just on fire every which way a hitter can be. And it's great to see the presence he's giving the Nats in that number 3 spot. No matter who's behind him, who's ahead of him, Zimmerman rolls along. He's 4 for 8 career against Jonathan Neese, who makes his 5th career start against the Nats. He's 2-0 with a .342 ERA, and he throws a fastball in the zone for a strike to Steve Lombardo's.
And last time out, he took the 7-0 loss against the Cubs. He gave up 7 runs on 9 hits, over 7 innings of work, struck out 3, walked nobody through 89 pitches, 67 for strikes. He's thrown at least 7 innings in 5 of his last 6 starts. So fastball, cutter, curveball change, fastball in the low 90s is what the Nats will see from Neese tonight.
Defensive swing on 0-2 by Lombardozzi, and Ike Davis will hustle to the bag for the out. Mets are one of the poorest defensive teams in the National League, have been all year.
Let's show that defense right now. Bay tore his Hairston in the outfield. Jason Bay making the return from the disabled list tonight against the Nationals. Tejada Wright on the left side, Cedeno Davis on the right side. Mike Nikias doing the catching.
David Wright has 8 errors on the year. Jason Bay coming back from a concussion. Suffered June 15th against Cincinnati, and that's not the first time he's run into a wall or jarred himself making a diving catch. Swing and a miss on the first one. A hard breaking ball away to Bryce Harper, who's hitting .273. Target away. Then he goes fastball near where the first pitch was. And the count's evened up. Harper's first career look at Jonathan Neese.
And Bryce Harper with 3 good at-bats last night in South Florida. Lined out a couple times, had a base hit his last time up. He just had the feeling that it was the calm before the storm.
Well, the Nats hit into some bad luck last night. On the verge of a couple of big innings. Double plays hurt him. Bullets right at guys. And Davey Johnson rather philosophical about that this afternoon. Said, hey, we're swinging the bats well for the last month. I have no complaints whatsoever. Those kind of games happen. Some nights you're unlucky. He went hanging breaking ball on 1 and 2. And Bryce hits it hard into right field.
Well, just another good at-bat last night. Quality at-bat starts this one off with a base hit. You got a big homestand. 7 games against teams that are right on your heels. Always nice to start that stand off in your white uni with a base hit. And guess what? There goes the no-hitter.
I was about to say, aren't you forgetting something?
No, I just like to draw it out for dramatic effect every once in a while.
Fans at home on the edge of their couches.
Yeah, they just...
Come on, FP, come on.
He's going to forget. I know it. Wow, that was almost a step straight to home plate by Neese. I mean, you have to step at a 45-degree angle to first base, and that was a casual throw over. Maybe his B or his C move.
Look how shallow Chris Conroy is, the second base umpire. I don't think Jonathan Neese will get away with anything, but he may have on the first pitch. That's as shallow or close to the mound as we've ever seen an umpire on a possible force play or double play start at second base. So Ryan Zimmerman, 373 over his last 18 games. And he's 4 out of 8 career against Neese, and that sails up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan seeing the ball well. That's the second time that Angel Hernandez has given Neese a high strike call. He gave him one to Lombardozzi. So it looks like Angel has a high zone tonight. I'm not sure that'll help pitchers in this warm air. This time of the year you want to keep the ball down. Ryan coming off that series in Florida. My goodness, he was 8 for 15 with a couple of homers and 3 RBIs, 3 for 4 in the game on Friday night. And he was 3 for 3 with another run batted in last night. Just driving the ball beautifully. There's that high pitch. Now guys know they've got to swing if it's up there. That was set up by the strike one call, because at times Zimmerman might lay off a pitch like that.
Let's check out the sequence to Ryan Zimmerman. Jonathan Neese, fastball right down the middle, feeling them out, wants to see release point. 2-seamer up and away. That's the high strike that Bob was talking about. Got a fastball right there in a 2-strike count. You see Nicky is standing up, wanted it up, got it up. But all heaters to Ryan Zimmerman.
So here's Neese against Morse, and Michael has 3 career hits with an RBI against him. 91 to start him off. Big series in Atlanta tonight. The Giants are there. They've won 3 straight, and they lead the Dodgers by 2 in the West. And the Braves are trying for their 8th in a row. They are stalking the Nats. It's pretty good, though, when a team behind you can win 7 in a row, and they're still 2.5 games back. Nationals have been the most consistent team in what's been a very streaky National League East this year. Florida, the ultimate streaky team. The Braves have been the same way.
Barry Zito going for the Giants. Jar Jurgens going for the Braves. Barry Zito 3-0 career at Atlanta.
0-2 to Morse. And the face of the National League Central race might have changed over the last day and a half, with Joey Votto now going down for Cincinnati. They had opened up a lead over the Pirates and 3.5 over their arch rival St. Louis after sweeping them over the weekend. And David Ortiz hurt over the American League East with Jose Bautista. Adam LaRoche is next. Runner at first, 2 outs, and a 2-2 to Morse. Good eye. Hard-breaking ball in. This will give a fast base runner, Bryce Harper, a pretty good head start at first. There's that high strike again. Angel Hernandez has some hitters looking back at him in the first inning. High strike calls to Lombardozzi, Zimmerman, and Morse. And the Nats are done with a runner aboard in the bottom of the first. Is presented by Luna. Call for the Luna double. Get your second room of flooring free at 877-241-LUNA. So who is this Scott Hairston guy who's about to face Ross Detweiler, and why is he batting cleanup for the New York Mets? 75 career home runs in parts of 8 years with Arizona, San Diego, Oakland, again with the Padres, and then the Mets where he hit 7 last year. And he's having himself quite a season with 35 RBIs to go with a dozen home runs.
3 home runs and 8 RBI over his last 10 starts. 9 of his 12 home runs this year against lefties. He's been a lefty killer all season long for the Mets.
Hairston at the age of 32 now. Kid brother of former Net Jerry Hairston Jr. 1 for 3 career with a home run against Ross Detweiler, and that's upstairs, 2-0. Mentioned that game at Atlanta. Giants an early run. 1-0 lead. They're still batting. Top of the first.
We'll definitely keep an eye on that series in Atlanta. I think it's that time of year where you can start to peek at the scoreboard, but the advantage the Nationals have the next 10 days, take care of business yourself. Yeah. Here they come. Mets, Braves, Mets. 7 games at home. Go to New York for 3. And this is the most important part of the schedule to me right now, right here.
And of course, with a 5-team division, every night at least one team will be playing out of the division. But you pay special attention to games like this. I mean, every game the Nats play this week is a 2-game swing against the Mets and the Braves. 2-2 pitch now. Right off the end of the bat.
The Phillies have won 3 in a row. They get Doc Halladay back tonight
at LA. Marlins are at Chicago for a night game.
I mean, it feels like the Nats haven't even played the Phillies this year. It was so long ago.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Busted bat, and it's up the middle. Yeah, the Nats next week go right back to New York to play the Mets, on to Milwaukee, and then, of course, the Phillies and the Marlins on the next homestand. Sometimes you make a good pitch and the guy does something with it.
And sometimes the bat dies a hero. Scott Hairston, stay hot. There goes the bat. You see the inside-out rotation on the ball. And you may have actually seen some pine tar on that baseball.
No, come on.
Well, from the bat, of course.
Oh. Here's Jason Bay making his return. He's only played in 22 games for the Mets this year, with 14 hits and 75 at-bats. But 4 of those hits were home runs. He kind of got the season started with some power. He's hit over 200, but the Mets are not getting much return on this 4-year, $66 million contract they signed him to. And that was back in January of 2010. He had 6 homers that year, had his first concussion, and was out from July 23rd on. Last year he had a broken rib in his left side. This year the concussion again. It's just been a rough ride for a class guy and a good ball player, Jason Bay, who hits a 2-hop double play ball. Lombardozzi, I mean, that's the way they hit fungos to you in batting practice. 2 hoppers, 6-4-3.
First at bat off the DL for Jason Bay. A little 6-4-3 double play. You look at the feed from Danny Espinoza. I mean, this is perfect. Watch where it hits Steve Lombardozzi right in the chest. Perfect feed. Got time. Like they've been doing it their whole life. That was pretty.
Bases wiped clean with 2 outs, and here's Ike Davis. As FP mentioned, the only lefty in the lineup tonight, and why not? He's hit 13 homers and driven in 50. Still hitting only .204. I mean, he was having a nightmare the first couple months of the season. He's a .270 career hitter. And the Nats totally shut him down in New York and in the first series here. Target is in. Little number up the middle, and it's beyond the reach of Lombardozzi. So a couple of soft base hits with the double play ball in between.
Well, when you think about the Mets and how well they've played all season, number one, it's been because of their pitching. Their pitching staff's carrying them. I think if you ask Terry Collins, he'd be the first one to tell you they're only as good as their starting rotation with R.A. Dickey, Johan Santana. But their offense has been exactly what you've seen this inning. They're grinders, base hits all over the place. They're not going to home run you to death. Well, they'll go up there and stick their nose in an at-bat, get a pitch count up, do a great job of driving in runs with 2 outs. They're hitting .285 with runners in scoring position in 2 outs this year. That's the second highest mark in the majors. That's how they win games.
Andres Torres is hitting .223. That ball tails and catches the corner. Torres, 34 years of age. Catcher Mike Nicky is on deck. And a quick look to first by Detweiler, who drops a breaking ball to the inside corner. So working both edges very effectively here.
And mostly fastballs tonight for Ross Detweiler. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. 91%, but that was a good curve.
And of course, maybe a little more oomph on that fastball with 12 days rest. In between starts, he hasn't pitched since the 5th of June, or July rather. Now that would be a long layoff. July 5th, 5 innings, 11 hits, but only 3 runs given up to the Giants in a 6-5 win. That ball is rocked to the gap. Moore's got to get over to cut it off. Easily to third base, Ike Davis. And the Mets have 3 hits in the inning, and the double play ball looms really large right now. As I mentioned, and so did FP, good hitting ball club. 7th in the league in batting average and 4th in runs.
A good swing by Andres Torres, a guy that's hitting .277 right-handed versus just .193 left-handed. And Danny Espinoza hasn't played short in a while. It's a good job of directing traffic out there. They saw him pointing towards second base in the right spot for the relay throw. Keep the hitter off second base.
And NYN Desmond will be the first guy off the bench to congratulate Espinosa when he makes a good play out there at short or gets a big hit. You can be a team leader when you're not out there as well. And NYN Desmond has that mindset. Here's the classic example of, even though a couple of men are on base in the National League, you don't want the number 8 hitter to beat you, even if he's hitting a .172 and he's 0 for his last 8. There is a good hitting pitcher on deck. Jonathan Neese has 6 hits and 2 RBIs this year. So this is almost a pick your poison type approach here. Nine pitches, all strikes in the first inning. And with the opposing pitcher on deck, it's a long second inning for Ross Detweiler.
And even with Torres on first base, a stolen base threat, if he wants to steal second, let him walk in there. Then it gives you the opportunity to pitch around Nikias if you want to, with first base open and 2 outs. If you're Ross Detweiler right now, concentrate on the hitter, get that big third out.
Steve McCaddy watching his left-hander operate here. Sounded like a broken bat. Zimmerman skipping by the bag straight over to Adam LaRoche. It is not that easy. The Mets get 3 hits, strand a couple, no score, mid-second.
Makes plays on the run more than anybody I've ever seen. This is a pretty routine play, but I just always marvel at the accuracy of the throw on the run. Jumps over the bag right there, flips it underhand, it's right on the money. I mean, maybe next year if you're the Nationals, you do some clever commercials with Ryan Zimmerman at the dinner table, just grabbing like a biscuit on the run. Or maybe shopping down an aisle, grabbing some cereal on the run. Because 90% of the plays he makes at third base are field off the left, throw off the right, and they're always right on the money. I've never seen a more mobile third baseman in my life.
I think they ought to send him over to Harris Teeter, and as he goes by every aisle, he grabs something and just shoots it straight down the aisle to you and I with a basket waiting at the other end.
That's a good call. Go through the fruit section, grab an apple, fired underhand on the run, grab an orange, try a watermelon.
Every throw chest high.
Yeah.
Up and in. Ah, what marketing geniuses we are. There's no way that's going to fly. Here's Adam LaRoche. It's 1-1 as he leads off the top of the second. And Adam's heating up again. That'll be a routine bouncer, though, to short right field for Ronnie Cedeno, the second baseman. But Adam came into this game hitting .326 over the last 2 weeks. We have a day-night doubleheader for you on Saturday. First game at 1:05, the makeup from June 1st against the Braves. And then after the 7:05 game, it's the Nats Live post-game concert series. The Wallflowers are coming, and a separate ticket is required for each game. So we're going to throw you out after the first game. Go have a nice snack, have a nice meal. Come on back and join us for 2 really interesting games, because the Braves will be here, and we cannot emphasize the importance of that weekend series. It'll be a 4-gamer starting on Friday. Tyler Moore, deep short. Ruben Tejada, long throw, and pretty good on the run himself.
Yeah, he took that one out of Derek Jeter's book. Backhand in the hole. On the outfield grass does the jump throw, and it takes some kind of arm strength to make this play. Look where he's at. Little jump turn. Give it a kick. I mean, to be that far away, going away from the plate, jump and reverse your whole momentum. Are you serious? Is what Jonathan Neese just screamed at his shortstop.
Yeah.
That was a great shot, guys.
I'm not sure he's surprised that Tejada made the play, but he's surprised at how well the throw was caught by Ike Davis. I mean, it was Zimmerman-like. Here's Danny Espinosa batting from the right side. Boy, you look at the numbers now. Everything's on the rise for Espinosa. Hitting nearly 300 now from the right side. And Danny's got that left-handed batting average up over the 200 mark. He's at 212 there, so approaching the 240 mark overall. Target way outside. He missed his spot. Espinosa misses the ball, and the bat barely misses Bo Porter. That is it for the Nats in the bottom of the second. 5 in a row retired by Jonathan Neese. Yeah, he's serious. No score in D.C. Night at the ballpark. Ross Detweiler, 28 pitches, 22 strikes so far. Let's go inside the numbers. You can discover Kia's full lineup of high quality, stylish, and dependable vehicles. To learn more, visit kia.com. And strikeouts per 9 innings following opponent's batting average this year as opposed to years past. And FP, this tells me that he's pretty consistent.
Well, and that he's improving, obviously, but I like the Ross Detweiler the second time around the rotation more than the first time, and the first time was good. Second time he's been more in command. He's been more in attack mode with the fastball. If you saw Steven Strasburg's last outing, Steve McCatty very pleased that Strasburg threw more fastballs than off speed. I think he threw 70% fastballs, and Steve McCatty's trying to get Steven to buy into the fact that he's got a really good fastball. I think the same thing applies for Ross.
With a guy like Strasburg and Detweiler, do you think that's something that could help them regarding that pitch count, which we always seem to be talking about?
Well, because
these are high pitch count guys.
It's a really good question, but with Ross, yes. Strasburg, no. And I say that with all due respect to Steven, because he's trouble pitching to contact because his stuff is so good. And if you're a hitter, you want to put the ball in playoffs, Steven, but sometimes you can't because the stuff is so good. I think his whole career, his pitch count's going to be high. That's something he's going to have to fight regardless.
Well, whatever the pitch count is, they'll take 10-4 with a 266 halfway through every season from here on.
Pretty good curveball right there from Ross.
To the opposing pitcher. First strikeout by Detweiler. And he faces Ruben Tejada, then Ronnie Cedeno. And again, these two guys become important because David Wright lurks behind them. And Ross gets ahead of another hitter. Hard breaking ball dropping right under his bat.
Well, fastball's been good. You get that pitch for a strike. Look out.
Nice crowd tonight. Some folks still coming in. No score, top of the third. Nats are averaging just under 30,000 a game at home. That ball slams off the limestone, goes straight up in the air. Caught by Jesus Flores, so it's 1 ball and 2.5 strikes. You get half credit for that.
Check this one out. Command has been good tonight, except for this one. And watch where it lands. Heads up, Angel.
That reminds me of a game we used to play as kids called step ball. You'd throw the ball down onto the steps and try to get it to come off at a high angle and float over the fielder's head. That was one of those little intercity games we used to play, or inner city games. We'd invent games of baseball where there was not enough room to play. I don't know if any of you guys at home ever played step ball, but we played a lot of that. Taught you how to keep the ball down. That was a hanger. Over to take it on a hop, Tyler Moore. And a base hit for Ruben Tejada with 1 out here in the third. Next up is Ronnie Cedeno.
Ruben Tejada's been hot. He's reached base safely in 11 of his last 11 games and 15 of his last 16 games. Excuse me. He's on fire. Reaches base again here tonight. Hitting .361 in 17 games since returning from the DL.
Tejada as a leadoff guy hasn't done a whole lot of running, hasn't been healthy this year. He's 1 for 2. That's a short lead. Only the Reds have stolen fewer bases than the Mets. Another double play ball. Last night the Nats kept hitting into him. Tonight they keep turning them. And that makes David Wright lead off next inning. So that's more than the bonus plan that my partner likes to mention. This time it's a 4-6-3. This day in history brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland. Go to OCOcean.com. Click on the Summer of Thanks for special deals and discounts. And on this date in 1941 in Cleveland at Old Municipal Stadium, which I think might have still been called Lakefront Stadium at that time, 67,000 watched a nearly 2-month hitting streak come to an end.
He went 0 for 3 and was robbed twice. And the next day, Joe DiMaggio started a 16-game hitting streak to follow that one.
How about that? So he was close to a 73-game streak.
Unbelievable. And Robinson Cano tonight extended his hitting streak to 20 games.
Flores to Ike Davis. Can you imagine an announcer back that year saying, he sits safely in 72 of his last 73 games? I don't think I've ever uttered such words. That's crazy. Christina, we have news about the doubleheader on Saturday because a lot of pitching will be needed.
Yes, a lot of baseball and a lot of pitching will be needed. It sounds like, according to Davey Johnson, he hinted that John Lannon will be recalled from AAA to pitch in the doubleheader. The Nationals will not need to remove anybody from the roster to make room for him because, according to the new collective bargaining agreements, teams are allowed to add that 26th player for doubleheaders. So could possibly be John Lannon coming up to pitch for the Nationals.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, John deserves it, and I know it wasn't easy for him to not make this ball club. And he has plugged away. He's had some good moments and some tough moments in the minors this year. A couple of years ago, John was sent down to the minor leagues, came back up here. I'm not going to say he reinvented himself, but he came back a different guy and had a great second half for the Nats.
Well, regardless, it'll just be nice to see him, period.
That's a curveball, so Jonathan East says, you throw me one, I'll hook you too. And he gets Detweiler looking for his 4th strikeout. So quickly, 2 outs here with Steve Lombardozzi coming up, top of the order. Lucas Giolito, the Nats' #1 draft pick out of Harvard Westlake High School in California, will be joining us live here in the booth in a little while. He's been doing the media tour around the ballpark today.
There he is.
That's Laura Potter of the Nationals front office, handles communications, escorting him around the ballpark and making sure that everything goes smoothly.
6'6", 100-mile-an-hour fastball and a nasty 12-6 curve.
And we understand that's his dad next to him there. It's, I think, for FP and I, every year it's always one of the highlights. Well, we have 3 of them up in the booth with us last year.
Yeah.
At one time. It's always fun. I remember when Ross Detweiler was up here 5-6 years ago. Of course, that was down the road a little bit on East Capitol Street. But it's always cool when we get the draft picks signed and get them here to the ballpark so they can taste what it might like to be a National someday. 0-2 to Lombardozzi. Jonathan Neese has been pumping strikes throughout this game. He did hang one breaking ball that Bryce Harper punished into right field. Nats only hit, only base runner. Lombardozzi behind 0-2's got to swing at anything that's close.
Well, pretty interesting. Davey Johnson sticks with Lombardozzi in the leadoff spot, right-handed. Had a couple of good at-bats, right-handed last night. Lined out once. Base hit to left field the other time. Usually Danny Espinosa leading off against lefties.
And then Espinosa batting 7th. With Tyler Moore right ahead of him down in the spot where Ian Desmond would normally be in that 6 hole. Off-speed breaking ball. Lombardozzi gave it a good battle. That ball came up on David Wright, who makes the play, and the Nats go in order again. That's 8 straight in a scoreless game for Jonathan Neese.
Danny Espinoza now at shortstop. Steve Lombardozzi at second base. And let's check out the double plays tonight. Two guys that haven't really worked together with each other. There's the 6-4-3 double play in the second. Perfect feed. And how about this? The other way around. Little 4-6-3, two perfect feeds, two perfect turns. So far, so good for the new guys up the middle.
Well, both pitchers have been around the plate. Defense is going to be good behind them. Detweiler, 38 pitches, 30 strikes. Nice, 40 pitches, 32 strikes. These guys are dealing. And both of them have had 5-0-2 counts tonight. So here's David Wright again, the way you like to face him, either 2 outs, bases empty, or leading off an inning after a key double play ball.
And the Mets had yesterday off, and the Nationals got in the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah, the Mets got here Sunday night.
Sunday night, and the Nats got home last night about 3 in the morning, probably about 4:30 bedtime.
Ball hit in the air. David Wright's always had great pop the other way. Michael Morse will grab it right in front of the friendly skies. David Wright backing him up right to the barrier, about 345 feet away.
Just a little glance before he jumped, and for a guy that hasn't played a whole lot of right field, this is as good as it gets. Watch his head turn to check the fence right at the end. He's going back. There's a little check, knows where he's at. Just a little glance to see the United sign coming. Watch the glance. There it is. Got the fence. Know where I'm at. Jump. A great play by the Beast.
Yeah, and that's a jumbo jet going against the wall right there. Well played by big Michael Morse.
Gear was down. Flaps were down. Cleared for landing. Nice play.
Scott Hairston base it up the middle first time. Off to the right side. So 2 double plays, a sterling play in the outfield by Michael Morse. The Nats, by the way, the 4th best defensive team in the league. Jason Bay waiting. And a 1-2 with 1 out here in the 4th. Got him on a ball tailing away. 94 with some heat and some tail on it. Strikeout number 2.
The Nats are the 4th best defensive team in the league. I want to see the 3 that are better.
Well, that's only by the numbers. We think they're the best. Get to Nissan for the biggest savings under the sun. Nissan Summer Saving Days. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local Nissan dealer. They bring you that good-looking pitch track. Here's Jason Bay.
Ross Detweiler keeps up this pace. He's going to pitch on 12 days rest the rest of his career.
Now that would be good work if you could get it. Detweiler, thanks to Michael Morse, a quick 1-2-3. Top of the 4th. Good hitters coming up.
I'm here at Nationals Park, and there is no doubt the next few days of divisional play for the Nationals is a very important time over the next couple of weeks. Bryce Harper talked today about the mindset that the team has had throughout the entire season that they're not letting go of and using to get through this next stretch of division play.
We played with the mentality that we weren't going to lose, and I think we're going to come in here and do the same thing. We're a team that has a lot of heart, and we want to win, and we want to stay in first place and not drop out of there. And I think we got great starting pitching, and so our bats are coming through right now, and everybody's swinging it well, and so hopefully we can keep it going.
And Davey Johnson said today that this is the joy of the game, playing division rivals. Those are the guys you have to beat. And he said, we're not 100% healthy, but we are better off than we were in the first half of the season.
Well, Drew Storn will be throwing again tonight. Jason Worth expected back in about 3 weeks, hopefully. Visit AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Christina with our sideline report. Bryce Harper will take one away, and the count's 2-1.
Talked to Jason today. He was hitting in the cage yesterday, full speed.
Yeah, they pretty much signed off on him to go ahead and do his rehab. Harper goes the other way. David Wright playing where a shortstop would, as they shifted on Harper more than most teams do for the first out here in the fourth. We have an AT&T fact of the game for you. Against the National League, the Nats playing nearly .600 baseball. Swept here by the Yankees. And lost a series here. In fact, lost 2 series to the Orioles, 4 out of 6. They were able to handle Tampa Bay. 2-1 here, sweeping at Boston, at Toronto, but against the senior circuit, as good as it gets.
They were 10-8 against the American League this year.
Best ever for the Nats. They'd never even really been close to 500 in interleague play before. Zimmerman takes one in there, a ball and a strike. Jonathan Neese. This guy's durable. He's gone 6 innings or more 13 times this year. He's gone 7 or more 7 times, and he's had 1 8-inning outing against the Phillies in a lopsided win. Zimmerman hits it high in the air to right center. Andres Torres tells Scott Hairston he's got it. Ryan just a hair under that one. Don't forget about that mid-season flex plan to ignite your natitude. Pick 3 games, get a free New Era ball cap. Go to nationals.com/flex. By the way, I don't know if anybody asked you this. I hope I was not imagining this. On the road this weekend, the Nationals had the all-red helmets.
They did.
So what's the story?
Just seeing how it looked with their gray unis.
I liked it.
I thought it was great.
But when I tuned in with my family from points unknown, never to be revealed on Friday night, I'm like, wait a minute, where's the blue bill on the ball caps? Or it was the blue helmet with the red bill, and the Nats were all red, and I'm like, wow, I haven't seen that.
At first I thought it might have been a mistake coming out of the All-Star break that they packed the wrong helmets, but upon further research we found out that they were just seeing how it looked with the gray unis, and I thought it looked great.
Well, it got him a 500 series on the road, 2-2. One ball and 2 strikes. I knew that either you or Christina, being the Bulldog reporters that you are, would find out the real story on that.
You can't get anything by the fashion police. We were on it in the first inning.
On a breaking ball on his hands, Michael Morse fouls it.
It did take me a second to figure out what looked different, though, because we didn't get any word of it. We didn't have any idea it was going to happen until the top of the first, and something looks different tonight. And then you looked at the helmets, and it was red all over the place. Going for the firefighter road unis. I liked it.
2 balls and 2 strikes. I got a letter from one of our great Masson viewers that showed up in the booth today that said, back in the old days, if ball players heard a fire engine go by the ballpark, they used to drop their gloves and go help put out fires. I'm like, what year was that? Guy swore it was true. 2-2 pitch. Morse will chop it third base way for David Wright. He's won a Gold Glove over there, just like Ryan Zimmerman has. And a dandy pitching duel, Neese and Detweiler matching up scoreless. At Cox.com. Check it out today. They have our game summary, and it's all zeros right now. The Nats have turned a couple of double plays with Espinosa and Lombardozzi. And meanwhile, the rest of the evening belongs to Jonathan Neese and Ross Detweiler, matching each other nearly pitch for pitch.
A lot of zeros because there's been a lot of good defense. Both pitchers pounding the strike zone. Defense on their toes. Check out this. Don't try that at home, folks. You might get hurt. Ruben Tejada, are you serious with that play in the hole? And how about the Beast? Maybe doing more for his offense than his defense. Goes up against the United sign with a great play and some serious leather being thrown around in this baseball game.
Ike Davis has a base hit. Little roller that found its way by the mound and up the middle first time. That was after the Jason Bay double play ball in the second. So the Mets have out hit the Nats 4-1. Right side, well placed. Espinosa, rather Lombardozzi, and look what he does. Looking a lot like the range of Danny Espinosa. Just plug him in wherever you need him. Lombardozzi's done nothing to embarrass himself in the outfield this year, and that was an outstanding play.
It's not an easy play for a second baseman. You're used to throwing to a stationary target. Detweiler does a nice job of getting over there. But you see the spin move, throwing to where he thinks the bag is. Nice job by Ross. I think the foot was on the bag. But that is a hard play for a second baseman. And yeah, it was. Foot right on the bag. And add that one to the highlight reel we just showed. Another nice defensive play by the Nationals.
Yeah, I think we'll give the second baseman and a pitcher a star on that one. Nice stretch. Detweiler went LaRoche. Here's Andres Torres, who has the evening's hardest hit ball. A drive to the gap in left center for a base hit, first time.
And that play for a second baseman going to his left, and then you have to hit the pitcher on the run. The best way to do it is just look at the base and throw to that target because it's the stationary one. You get into trouble as a second baseman if you try to lead the pitcher or start to play quarterback and lead him across the middle with a pass. Just pick up the base, and I think Lombardozzi did that after the spin move. Just pick up the white thing that's stationary, throw it to that, and the play will take care of itself. That was nice.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Detweiler goes fastball and misses over but low. So Zimmerman, Morris, Lombardozzi, Espinosa all coming up big defensively tonight. Up the middle, to his left, Espinosa. Look how quick the feet were going there. I think the footwork is the key to that play. 2 outs, and the great gems keep coming.
Well, it's funny you say that, Carp. Randy Knorr was working with Danny Espinosa the other day before the day game on Sunday in South Florida. And he was telling Danny, get your feet underneath you and let it fly. The first couple of throws to first base, Danny was throwing sidearm and kind of not in a set position. But he said to use that big arm, Danny, get those feet underneath you, close up your front side, and everything else will be where it needs to be. And you see that right there. Get that base underneath you. Keep the front side closed. And once your feet are under you, you can go ahead and throw it as hard as you want. And for you youngsters at home, most errors are made, most throwing errors are made with your lower half, with your feet. When they're not set, they're off balance, you go ahead and throw it. You know, that's when you hit your parents watching the game. But if you get your feet underneath you, you'll be more accurate with your throws. So take your time, get your base underneath you, and you'll be far more accurate.
And I'm not usually on the squad for the fashion police, but those are the longest pants worn by any shortstop in Major League Baseball tonight. How those things don't get wrapped around the spikes on the back of his feet, I don't know. Mike Nikias hits this ball well. Michael Morse is drifting for it. The pitcher will have to lead off in the 6th. And Ross Detweiler is complimenting his teammates with the gloves very well so far. good pitching and defense for the Nats again tonight. That's been the story throughout this season. League leading 3.15 ERA. July 20th when the Braves are here. And that, of course, is this weekend. First 10,000 fans, 21 and older, receive a beer stein presented by Miller Lite. That's Friday night. You must enter through the center field gates to receive that promotional item. TheNats.com/tickets. Check it out. Some restrictions do apply. The beer stein on Friday night. So Detweiler at 46 pitches, 42 strikes through 5. Jonathan Nice threw 4, 53 pitches, and 40 strikes.
This game so far very reminiscent, easy for me to say, use smaller words, of the Mark Burley, Gio Gonzalez game in Florida. Both pitchers going at breakneck pace. Almost each one trying to match the others, throwing strikes, getting a lot of ground ball outs. And you had the feel in that game, Carp, that whoever scored first would win. You get the same feel here tonight.
So we'll go with 55 strikes, or 55 pitches officially for Ross Detweiler. Adam LaRoche bounced out to the second baseman in short right field. First time up, and that's where Ronnie Cedeno, a former shortstop himself, plays here in the 5th inning. Defensive swing. Quickly 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Mets in the division are 18 and 15. The Nats are 18 and 11 in the National League East. Big hook to strike him out. And that's strikeout number 5 for Jonathan Nice.
A pretty good curveball from Nice, 76 miles an hour, big break. Looked like a strike, broke off the plate late. You're talking about a 92, 93 mile an hour fastball and a 76 mile an hour curve with a little bite to it. That's why the Nats have 1 hit. Good stuff going from Nice.
That ball is scorched to right, off the bat of Tyler Moore. It's out of here. Right over the Curly W. And on his 5th big league homer, the Nats have the lead in the 5th inning.
Tyler Moore can flat out hit. And that's the jet stream on warm nights at Nats Park. We've seen it before. Mid to upper 90s, right center field. You think, get in the gap for a double. Next thing you know, it's a home run. 5th of the year for Tyler Moore, and that puts the Nats up 1-0. There goes the shutout.
Nats with their 93rd of the year.
A fastball away, 94 miles an hour. Cut back out over the plate, right down the middle. Hands inside the baseball. Tremendous lower half. Very quiet. Head on the baseball, and pretty good extension. Nice swing.
Danny Espinosa struck out swinging his first time. He lays down a bunt. Off to the races. Nice can't make the play. And a blast followed by a bunt from the 6 and 7 hitters.
Now, when you're as fast as Danny Espinosa, you don't have to be that fine with the bunt. You know, David Wright can field his position. Jonathan Nice had this ball a little bit too close to Nice, but when you're that fast and you get out of the box that quick, put that one in your pocket. Danny Espinosa doing everything right. 3 hits last night. And a base hit bunt here tonight. He was a home run shy of the cycle. Him, Morse, Zimmerman, 3 hits last night.
Here's Jesus Flores. Davey thinks Jesus is putting a little too much pressure on himself these days. 3 for his last 26. Doing a yeoman job behind the plate nearly every day. And Davey said he's a good hitter. He just doesn't need to make it any more difficult. And another hard luck at bat yesterday, but he did swing at a 2-0 pitch with the bases loaded when maybe it wasn't strike one. And then he hit the ball hard into bad luck right after that.
Well, you felt like the wheels were coming off for Carlos Zambrano. It was a two-seam fastball that took off. It looked like a strike. Flores went to swing it. It almost hit him. Now, talking to Pudge the other day, Carp, he's been watching games, and he was raving about the defense from Jesus Flores, how he's blocking balls, the fingers he's putting down, the way he's commanding a game back there. And his words were, if he hits, great. If he doesn't, that's for other guys.
Yeah. His
main job is to call a game, and I think he's done a great job of that.
Off to the right side, 1-2.
You saw Jesus Flores right there do a little Kevin Youkilis impersonation with the right hand up on the bat. Look at that. Taking practice swings like Uke. Look at that. What if he just left it there and hit like that? I don't think he could.
On a pitch up and away, can't get to it. 2 outs on strikeout number 6 by Jonathan Neese. Let's have a look at our PNC Minor League Report. Solutions that help you achieve your financial goals. PNC Bank for the achiever in you. And Kevin Keys, important for the Potomac Nationals right now. A power surge, 3rd in the Carolina League in home runs. And another guy who was not drafted that long ago, 7th rounder.
Totally ready. Call him up.
Big guy at 6'3" with pop. Here's Ross Detweiler, who was called on strikes on a breaking ball first time. He goes up swinging, and that'll end the bottom of the 5th. But Tyler Moore, with 1 out, goes opposite field laser. 15 feet high is that scoreboard and that wall. He got it just over the top, and the Nats lead by 1. And between us is the reason why. Lucas Giolito, #1 draft pick by the Nats this year. Hey, welcome, buddy. Great to see you. And now we finally get to meet you in person.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
What do you think of this ballpark and what you're seeing here tonight?
Unbelievable ballpark, unbelievable fans. It's just great to be here.
Now you signed your contract. You got that out of the way. Now it's just get that elbow better.
Yep.
How's it feeling?
It's feeling really good. All my long toss and flat ground sessions are feeling really good. So I'm looking forward to pitching again soon.
What's the next step? Getting back on the mound, maybe throwing aside?
Yeah, next step will probably be getting out to Florida, doing bullpens and feeling it out.
Very cool.
That is outstanding. And of course, the arm situation earlier in the year. Nats don't seem to be concerned about that at all because they like the makeup of what you are all about. What was your reaction when you heard that Washington was the team?
It was unbelievable. I mean, I was just sitting on the couch with my family. Didn't really know what was going to happen that day. And then the commissioner called my name with the Nationals pick. It was one of the best feelings of my life.
And, of course, a couple of pretty good arms on this staff right now. It is an organization that has emphasized pitching in their drafts over the last couple of years. So as happy as you might be, I think the organization is equally as happy, maybe more, that you're part of this mix now, because, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity in this organization.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great up-and-coming organization. Obviously, you see Detweiler pitching right now, and guys like Strasburg and Gio and Zimmerman. It's the pitching's unreal, and we'll see where I can go.
Well, the pitching's similar to you. You're a power guy, fastball in the upper 90s. You've touched 100 a couple of times. I mean, you fit right in. Have you talked to any of these guys like Strasburg?
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to have little conversations with a few of them, and I haven't really gotten a chance to talk pitching yet, but hopefully I'll be able to do that soon.
Lucas Giolito, Nats #1 pick, 16th overall, out of Harvard Westlake High School in California. 6'6", 230. Are you still growing?
Yeah, I am. I'm actually around 240 now. So,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens once I get into that.
A lot of us have gained 10 pounds since the draft.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we'll see what happens once I get into that Florida heat. I might drop a few pounds, but I'll be working hard to try and put some muscle on, too.
First thing when I saw you today, I know it was about a month ago when you were here against the Yankees, and I got to meet you behind the cage, and you do look like you've filled out a little bit. I know that's only been a couple of weeks ago, but you look different.
Yeah, I've been working hard all summer and physical therapy and everything to get stronger and get bigger.
By the way, happy birthday 3 days late.
Oh, yeah,
you just turned 18 on the 14th. Yep. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jonathan Neese facing Ross Detweiler here, and he will defensively chop it off to the left side. Through 5 innings tonight, Detweiler 56 pitches, 42 strikes.
You're 18. Bryce Harper's 19. Can you see yourself playing here in a year?
Oh man, I really. That's kind of a tough one, but we'll see what I can do. I'll work hard every day, of course, but oh man, I don't know if I can get here like Harper did.
I mean, mentally, put yourself in his shoes, right? That's a year away.
Yeah.
He's playing in the big leagues every day, 19 years old. And that's just crazy. But when you have a big fastball like you, guys like you move through systems fast. You show you can throw strikes, show you're healthy, you'll be here sooner than you can think.
Yeah, that's basically my plan. I'll try to throw everything for strikes and really be competitive out there and make my way through the system.
Ross Detweiler doing that tonight. He has struck out the pitcher twice, but he only has 3 strikeouts tonight, so he is pitching to contact. Now, you were on your way, at least thinking about going to UCLA. What influenced you to maybe go the professional route right now?
Yeah, obviously UCLA is such a great program. John Savage, unbelievable coach there. It was a very tough decision, but coming out here, visiting the park a few weeks back, I believe, being able to meet some of the guys and see the sights, it was a huge turning point.
I introduced Lucas to Derek Jeter behind the cage. Yeah. And I said, hey, Jeet, this guy throws 100. And Jeter's response was, thank goodness he's in the National League.
Yeah. I'm surprised Derek didn't say, well, I'll be retired by the time he's throwing 100 here.
You never know, though.
You don't. No balls and 1 strike, and Detweiler goes up and away. You had a teammate that was also going to UCLA who was drafted just ahead of you by the Padres.
Max Fried with the San Diego Padres. He's having a good time right now. I text him often and kind of see how he's doing out in Arizona, and then I'll be letting him know how I'm doing in Florida.
Nice. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ruben Tejada, 1 for 2 tonight. He gets jammed severely, and Adam LaRoche is under that one. 2 outs.
Now, how much the fact that the Nats were in first place, getting all the play with Strasburg and Bryce Harper, you're seeing them all the highlights every night. It's a franchise obviously heading in the right direction. How much did that influence, and how happy were you when you got drafted by a team that's in first place?
Yeah, definitely a huge influence. A program like this that's, as I said before, so up and coming, young guys, really talented guys and guys working really hard and playing really well together. Those are kinds of things that really push over the edge for me.
Well, I would imagine a guy that was slotted to go top 3, maybe first pick in the draft. Some teams backed off because of the elbow issue. You dropped down to 16, so that part might have been tough for you. But, I mean, you rebound with one of the better organizations in baseball right now. That had to be a nice.
Yeah, in a way, that injury is really kind of a blessing in disguise, I guess you could say. Being able to be in an organization like this and, hopefully soon enough be playing on this team and winning and, doing the whole thing.
Ronnie Cedeno, the hitter, no balls and 1 strike. The base is empty, 2 outs. We're visiting with Lucas Giolito, 18-year-old right-handed pitcher. The Nats drafted him I bet you'll never think Friday the 13th is unlucky anymore.
Yeah, I know.
That's the day you sign.
That's pretty funny.
We could talk pitching all you want. You fit in the staff as a power guy, but the million-dollar question is, can you hit?
I know. I mean, the pitching hitting on this team. I hear it's the best in baseball. That's what I think's going on.
Well, jump in the cage, young man.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Lucas, thanks for joining us, buddy. All the best.
Right, thank you.
All right, Lucas Giolito with his professional career ahead of him. Detweiler looking sharp tonight. By Verizon Fios. Introducing Verizon Fios Quantum Speed Internet, twice as fast as anything America has ever seen, and Mr. Lincoln would agree. Navy Federal Credit Union, serving the Army, Marine Corps, the Navy, Air Force, the Department of Defense, and their families, federally insured by NCUA. I dare any pitcher to try to stare down that gentleman right there.
He's got a big strike zone.
Whew. Pretty impressive when they nickname an entire state after you.
Pretty impressive having an 18-year-old, just turned 18 a couple days ago, come up here and dominate a half inning. How about that?
Yeah. That was outstanding. I think it goes to the type of character of the young men this organization drafts. Now, are you telling me there's some TV work in that family?
Yeah, Rick Giolito on the left. He's an actor on As the World Turns and Who's the Boss. His mom, Lindsay Frost, has appeared in a handful of movies. Lost, Without a Trace, Boston Legal. His uncle, Mark Frost, co-created Twin Peaks. And how about this? He got a congratulatory tweet from Samuel L. Jackson when he signed his contract. So no shock that he did good on TV, right?
Yeah. Well, but he told me that coming up here was his biggest thrill.
Well, he just told me during the break, he said, was that Bob Carpenter? I said, yep.
What, was he expecting Johnny Holiday? First pitch swinging, Bryce Harper. That'll be easy for Ike Davis. He really didn't tell me that. I just made that up. But I'm sure it was a big thrill for all of us. Discover Kia's full lineup of high-quality, stylish, and dependable vehicles. To learn more, visit kia.com as we go inside the numbers on Ryan Zimmerman. Throw anything to him, and he will do damage. Since the 24th of June, which is 3 weeks ago, he's just been unbelievable.
And when you're locked in, Ryan Zimmerman, you're hitting the ball to all fields. Last night, the home run to left center. He hit a double to right field off the wall, a base hit to left, so 3 hits to all fields. And it doesn't matter. Fastball, slider, curve, change. He's on everything. The game moving very slow all of a sudden for Ryan Zimmerman.
And by the way, in the getting a little help from our friends department, Giants have just put a 6 spot on the board in the 4th inning, and they lead 8-0 at Atlanta.
That is nice.
8-9-0 for the Giants. No balls and 1 strike to Zimmerman. And a big breaking ball. Hard to hit, hard to make contact.
Might have been the best curveball of the night for Nice. 75 miles an hour. Watch the late bite. Wow.
Zimmerman 0 for 2 tonight. Swinging strikeout. Fly ball to right center. Pretty deep. In protect mode here on 0-2. He's going to be called out. Angel Hernandez established the high strike early. Pitchers are prospering tonight in a 1-0 game. Bicycles built for 2. You know, and Abe on foot is usually the great closer.
It's just so nice to see the presidents racing again after those mutant sea creatures down in South Florida.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about those. Hey, how are my buddies, the Pinocchio Dolphins, doing?
Didn't see him too often. Anthony Ramirez made him fly around in circles last night.
Yeah, and I heard he's still standing there admiring his home run.
He's still standing at home plate.
SunTrust inside the numbers. And David Wright, kind of like Ryan Zimmerman, wherever you pitch him, he'll do damage. And I'm a little surprised by the outside numbers because he goes to right field really well.
I am no scout, but I would pitch him outside. Just saying.
Marlins, by the way, are underway at Chicago against the Cubs. No score, top of the second. And that series is getting a lot of headlines because that's Ozzie Guillen's return to the Windy City, even though it's the north side, not the south.
Pretty sure Ozzie Guillen could find headlines in a parking lot by himself.
1 ball and 1 strike to David Wright, who pinned Michael Morse up against the right field wall last time up.
And funny about that last graphic, David Wright got a fastball outside last time, and that was the catch that Michael Morse made up against the bullpen.
Well, he's been a great right center, right field shooter his entire career. You think about right-handed hitters who hit the ball that way. Probably 2 of the best in the last 20 years. Mets, Mike Piazza, David Wright.
Well,
Mike Piazza had unbelievable power that way.
Well, the adjustment that he's made from last year to this year is with his stance. He puts his hands out at the end, almost like Michael Morse does. Last year, the hands were more toward his helmet around the corner, but this year, he sticks them right out over the plate. It's freed him up. He's more on his legs than last year. Watch where his hands go. A lot like Morse, kind of out over at the last second.
2-2 pitch.
Difference.
That ball is driven to right center. Michael Morse is going to do it again, but he doesn't hold on. Looked like he made contact with the ball going into the scoreboard. But we kind of lose the ball in the lights out there, so we'll see if he got a piece of it or not. But David Wright continues to pound the ball the other way.
Well, the Nats catch a break that ball stayed in the ballpark. And the bad side is leadoff double here in the 7th of a 1-run game. Morse got back there, just ran out of glove.
Yep.
Good effort. Just out of his reach. So now it's up to Scott Hairston to move David Wright to third base or pick him up.
Yeah, something you don't normally ask your cleanup hitter to do, move a guy over, but Scott Hairston is not a career cleanup guy. So he may revert back to his days of hitting second or seventh or eighth here, trying to get his team a runner in scoring position, at least at third base. And he will dump that one down the right field line. It's trouble if fair, and it hits maybe a foot or two foul.
Game of inches. And the double from David Wright, a couple of inches over Michael Morse's glove. Good effort. And that foul ball by Scott Hairston as Ross Detweiler has a chuckle with the Mets third baseman as he goes back to second base. But that one falls a couple of inches foul.
Hairston with a base hit and 2 trips tonight. You might remember he broke his bat on a flare up the middle first time up, leading off the second. Espinosa's playing a shallow shortstop to stay near the runner and keep David Wright, a good base stealer, from taking third. Oh, but the ball's going to get away from Flores. And that appeared to be a pass ball. We'll see how they score it. Looked catchable, if not blockable, but they're going to call it a wild pitch. I'd have to see that one again.
Well, Detweiler trying to come in on Scott Hairston so that he can't move the runner. Well, fastball just catches the dirt.
Yeah, I think that could have been ruled either way, but it did hit in the dirt in front of the mitt. Infield is in, nobody out now. Swing and a miss on a pitch up and away. Hairston was sensing a fly ball to right with that swing as Ryan Matthews works in the Nats bullpen. Right now the pitch count's not a concern. Detweiler's only at 76 pitches in the 7th inning.
Yeah, got to go for the strikeout right here, obviously. And maybe you go up and away one more time. Scott Hairston in pull mode right there, pulled off that pitch.
Hey, the high strike's been called all night. Why not take him up the ladder here? But he goes low and outside with 94. The count's even 2-2.
And he tried to go back out there again. It just was never a strike. Easy take for Hairston.
Except for Tyler Moore, outfield around to the right, indicating an outside pitching pattern. And Hairston continues to bump the ball over that way. So the Mets just collected their 5th base hit, but it's their first since Tejada. With 1 out back in the 3rd, he was doubled up, as was Scott Hairston's leadoff hit in the 2nd. So Detweiler had retired 10 straight before that David Wright double. 2-2 pitch, target away. Got him on a pitch nowhere near the strike zone. Ross Detweiler takes advantage of the over-eagerness of Scott Hairston.
Well, everything away to Scott Hairston. It looked like he was in pull mode this whole at-bat once David Wright got to third base. Early on, he was looking to go the other way, move the runner. You see the front shoulder fly right there. Looked like he was very aware of the fastball in, but he got nothing but pitches on the outer half. And be careful here with Jason Bay. You got a left-hander on deck, and Ike Davis set up the double play.
Yeah. Mike Davis has hit into a 4-1 ground ball, singled off the end of his bat before that. Be a proven RBI guy. That's a good strike, quality strike near his hands. As recently as 3 years ago, drove in 119 for the Red Sox, and that got him that 4-year, $66 million from the Mets. Target away now.
And if you're Ross Detweiler right here, very careful. Make your pitches as if there's 2 strikes. If he wants to force the issue and be aggressive and chase, fine. If he doesn't, first base open, on to the next guy.
Right in there with 90. And Ross gets it back even 2-2. One of the best games of his career in park progress right now.
And Davy Johnson saying, you know what, my left-hander has done so well tonight. I'm pulling the infield in. I'm trying to cut down this run.
Ball lifted, short center. If they tag from there, they're crazy. Harper whips it home. 2 outs. All Bryce had to do was keep it low enough so he didn't airmail it over the catcher.
I think Zim was talking to his glove and he said, David, if you went right there, you'd have been out by a mile. Watch this. 95 miles an hour from center field. Come on. Get the bat out of the way. Nice job by Angel Hernandez. And look at the throw. Serious heat from center field. Bryce Harper, good throw. Wow.
I had it at only 93 when it got to the catcher.
95 out of his hand, 93 when it got there.
Pretty good. So it's Detweiler against the left-hander now, Ike Davis, who's been a tough out. That ball he hit last time was almost placed well enough for another hit.
A little Expo action on the Bryce Harper throw to home plate.
Looking right at us as he let it go. And this is Steve McCaddy to the mound after 2 big outs.
Well, I'll tell you what, David Wright's a very aggressive base runner. Even though that fly ball was short, on a lot of center fielders, he would have went right there in a 1-run game with 2 outs in the 7th inning. He would have tagged on that fly ball, but because of the respect of Bryce Harper, and we've seen it for a long time, last year or so with Rick Ankiel in center field.
Yeah.
There just wasn't a thought in his mind. Bluff down the line. If it bounces away, you got your momentum going home. But that's a play that in the 7th inning of a 1-run game, you'll see a lot of base runners, good base runners, force the issue. But with Bryce Harper, David Wright said, I'm not going.
Now Mike Gonzalez joins Matthews in case Terry Collins goes to the left side of his bench, because he's got Lucas Duda, Daniel Murphy, and Kirk Neuenhuis available tonight, as well as Jordani Valdespin. Ike Davis with 50 RBIs. He's hitting the heaviest, 204 in Major League Baseball, and actually up to 206 with his 1-for-2 tonight. But despite his struggles getting hits, he has driven in runs this year.
He had 269 on the road so far this year, just 134 at Citi Field.
A drive, 1 hop, Lombardozzi. And Ross Detweiler is going to get a huge ovation. 7 shutout innings against a good-hitting New York team. Now, all about pitching tonight, and then one big swing of the bat by Tyler Moore, the rookie, with a laser beam opposite field with 1 out back in the 5th.
And they got a fastball away. Backdoor cutter from D-State on it. Let it get deep. Use those big tree trunk legs of his, and see-ball, hit ball for Tyler Moore. And that's the only run of this baseball game.
And that's the second time tonight Jonathan Nisa said, are you serious? That ball got out by maybe a foot and actually fell into a little open area between the back of that wall and the first row of seats. So it has been a game of inches tonight. So the Nats box score. First inning hit by Harper. They wouldn't have another hit until that 5th inning drive by Tyler Moore. Danny Espinosa bunted for a hit. That's been it.
Well,
but how many times, FP, have the Nationals won games this year when the other team had more base hits?
It's just when you get your hits, the clutch hits. And so far tonight it's been Tyler Moore. But Davey Johnson would love to add on right here.
Well, he's got the guys to do it. Morse, LaRoche, and Moore. Michael Morse taking 3rd strike and a bouncer to 3rd.
How great was Ross Detweiler right there? Runner on 3rd base, 1-run game, 1 out, strikes out Scott Hairston, gets Jason Bay to fly out shallow to center field, then gets the ground ball to Lombardozzi to end the inning. That's a nice job, Ross.
Could be done after 86 pitches. Now the Nats have their bullpen set up. Matthews and Gonzalez have sat down. Jonathan Neese, meanwhile, 73 pitches, 57 strikes in his 6 innings. One of his best games of the year. A lot of heaters from the lefties tonight. They're not tricking anybody. They're going right after opposing hitters. Two balls, 2 strikes. So now the back end of the bullpen shows up with Sean Burnett for the 8th. And it's the bottom 3 hitters in the lineup for the Mets. Davey Johnson, at least for 1 more inning, could pretty much take Terry Collins' bench out of play by following the lefty with a lefty. Their only right-handed hitter is Justin Turner. Justin Turner. Morris with a good take and a ball low and in. And he's worked the count full. Base runners any way they can get them. Apply within. They're going to jam him. And that ball was out over the plate. Inside target again. Morris will lift it down the line. He knows it's foul. Home run distance. On a tapper, out to short, charged by Ruben Tejada. Wide throw, and Ike Davis goes LaRoche and stays with it. Well, the Braves will be here Sunday as well. Final game of the 6-day, 7-game homestand. First 10,000 fans 12 and under receive a kid's t-shirt presented by the Potomac Nationals. Now you must come through the center field gates to receive it. Nationals.com/tickets, and some restrictions apply. Right up the middle, off the bat of LaRoche, but that's where the shortstop, Ruben Tejada's playing, and 2 quick outs now.
LaRoche must be wondering what he has to do to get a hit right now. Had a lot of good at-bats in Miami, nothing to show for it. And that a line drive right back up the middle, but because of the shift put on by Terry Collins, Tejada standing right behind second base. That's a big league hang with him for LaRoche.
And right now, 1 swing is the difference in this game from Tyler Moore. And every time an ad hits a home run this season, your Washington area Lexus dealers donate $200 to the Children's National Medical Center. So take $200 times 93. That's how much cash the Nats have generated for a great cause this year. The Nationals have hit 30 more homers than they've given up. 30. I guess you would call that total recall. Hitting almost 370 since he came back. He gets jammed. This is probably be the last inning for Jonathan Neese, unless they generate a run or two with their 7 and 8 hitters in the 8th. He's due to bat third. 25-year-old lefty, a 7th rounder back in 05. He's been outstanding tonight. Target away. Breaking ball. Moore able to hook it.
And I'm sure there might be somewhere out there, but there should be a stat for hitters' quality at bats. Because I say Tyler Moore, since he's been recalled, would lead the team in those. And maybe not ending up in a hit, but maybe you see 5-6 pitches and hit the ball hard. It's hard to deem what you would think is hard. It's based on opinion, but he just, at bat after at bat, gives you a good one. Quality starts for pitchers. I'm not a big fan of the stat, but how about quality at bats for hitters? And you start keeping track of those.
And I totally subscribe to the see ball hit ball theory.
Me too.
You know, not a lot of science.
Sometimes you get in that video room and you start looking at tape and you analysis paralysis and you can't even think straight.
Yeah, then pretty soon you've figured out how they get you out instead of how to succeed the other way. Well, Jonathan Neese said that's it for him. He finishes with a flourish in a 1-0 game. B. Mason. Who but W.B. Mason? Great night for a well-played baseball game at Nationals Park. Through 7, 1-3-0 Nats, 0-5-0 Mets. And in the top of the 7th, after a leadoff double by David Wright, Ross Detweiler really toughened up.
He got to third on a wild pitch. So runner on third, 1 out, 1-run game, strikes out Scott Hairston. It's Jason Bay to fly out to Bryce Harper, just short center field. David Wright says, I ain't going. And he gets Ike Davis on a ground ball to second base. So Ross Detweiler, longest outing of the year, 7 innings, previous high 6 2/3 in Atlanta on June 29th. Best outing of the year by far for Ross. Nice job.
Washington area Toyota dealers helping children and their families while they receive medical treatment. The National Institutes of Health, $37 for every strikeout this season. All right, FP, you've taught me one thing this year, and I just saw it happen. Jesus Flores just short-hopped the throw down to Steve Lombardozzi. Andres Torres walked up to the batter's box and said, I want a new baseball.
Yeah, you don't want to scuff in the ball. If you're leading off an inning, you got to pay attention. Any practice pitches in the dirt, the throw down to second goes in the dirt. You ask for a new baseball.
Which Sean Burnett throws right in there for a strike.
With Sean Burnett having some elbow soreness for the last month or so. taking some anti-inflammatories. Pitched yesterday, I believe. Said it felt good. Or actually 2 days ago. Said it felt good. And here he is back in the 8th inning. Anytime you have Tommy John surgery and you feel some tightness in your elbow, it's cause for alarm. But Burnett said he's fine.
2/3 of an inning scoreless in the 4-0 win on Saturday with a strikeout. Andres Torres.
And this is the guy you got to keep off the bases. Torres, a leadoff type hitter.
And they're going to hit Daniel Murphy for the catcher next. Lefty for lefty. There's a ground ball for Lombardozzi. Got to hurry. Out on a bang-bang play. And Tom Goodwin is upset about it, along with Andres Torres. Looks like Terry Collins isn't going to come out of the dugout. That was close.
We could see that developing, and Steve Lombardozzi probably not thinking about how fast Andres Torres was right there in a one-run baseball game. That was a lot closer than you thought it was going to be. Once Torres get out of the box, Lombardozzi kind of lays back right here. Couple of shuffles, and wow, that was... Oh, Nats gets a huge break. Torres was safer than safe. That wasn't even close.
Mark Carlson, 13-year veteran on the call over there. And here's Daniel Murphy hitting for Mike Nickias. Murphy is a pinch hitter, 1 for 6. 3 homers. That may not impress you, but how about 43 RBIs? That's probably the best RBI to homer ratio of any hitter in baseball. And then they have that right-handed bat we talked about on deck in Justin Turner. Breaking ball by Burnett. Tough to hang in for the lefty.
Now you're talking about, excuse me, Carp, you're talking about a one-run baseball game, trying to get the leadoff man on in the 8th inning. Andres Torres was clearly safe.
Yeah, and he was signaling it to the umpire. Well, and the Nats have been in 4th place and 5th place in the past. Those things didn't happen. That ball driven to right. He just dropped the bat head on that pitch low and inside. He's digging for 2. And the Mets have the tying run right there with 1 out here in the 8th. And that'll bring in Justin Turner.
And that would be 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. If Mark Carlson got that one right, Nats catch a break. And now Daniel Murphy doing a little golfing as he hits the double down the right field line, tying run on 2nd here in the 8th.
So he's hitting for Nice. Neither pitcher walked a batter tonight. Detweiler struck out 4. Jonathan Nice struck out 8. And Burnett throws a strike. Sean Burnett this year against right-handed batters, .261, 3 home runs. That was a late swing. There was some deception on that 91-mile-an-hour pitch.
There's some sink on that 91-mile-an-hour fastball. 2-seam fastball from Burnett. It's been his go-to pitch all season long, and that one had split action.
'89 pitches. 75% strikes by Nice tonight. Oh, an off-speed pitch. He got him. And the swipe tag by Flores. 2 outs.
You can't pitch anybody better than Sean Burnett. Just pitched Justin Turner. Fastball away to the slider in the dirt. And you look at the late action on this slider from Burnett. Set up by 2 quality fastballs before that.
So for the Mets, with 2 outs, it's up to Ruben Tejada, 1 for 3 in the leadoff spot.
And Ruben Tejada hitting .328 on the year, but he's hitting .371 against lefties this year, 26 for 70.
He's on a 6-game hitting streak with a hit and 3 trips tonight. That's a busted bat. Espinosa over to scoop it. Look at that arm. How about the Nats defense tonight? Into the bottom of the 8th, ahead by a run. Brought to you by Dodge. Go to Dodge.com or visit your local Dodge dealer tomorrow. Well, quite a ball game in our nation's capital tonight, and this one into the bottom of the 8th inning. Right back here tomorrow night, and it'll be Chris Young. Yeah, the big, tall right-hander who's given the Nats problems in the past. He's 3-1 career against Washington with a .274 ERA. Jordan Zimmermann scoops up the ball and tries to go 7-6. He's 3-0 in his last 4 starts with a 1.04 ERA. Nats Extra, Johnny and Ray, here at the ballpark at 6:30. We'll join you from the booth at 7. And Jordan, first pitch, 7:05. Josh Tolley takes over behind the plate for the Mets. Daniel Murphy stays in to play second base. And the call to the bullpen packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. Ramon Ramirez, 30-year-old right-hander, gets the call. Last couple of seasons with the Giants. Frank Francisco with a left oblique and 18 saves is on the DL. And the Mets are not sure when he's coming back. He had a setback. And one of the worst things that can happen with an oblique is to try to come back and then have another thing go wrong. So he may be out for an extended time.
That's why Ian Desmond has taken a few days off. Ramirez, a 3-pitch guy, fastball, slider, change.
Danny Espinosa leads off, and how sweet would an extra run or two be here? Espinosa, Flores, and then a pinch hitter for Sean Burnett, who gets that 8th inning job done again on 12 pitches, 10 strikes.
Well, extra run would be huge for one reason and one reason only. You take all the bunt play stuff away in the 9th inning.
Not to mention that David Wright will be the second man up. Swing and a foul tip. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Left-hander, we've never seen him before. Josh Edgen has come to the big league since the Nats last played the Mets. One and 2 to Espinosa, 1 for 2 with a bunt base hit. And Danny will get to that outside pitch to stay alive. Marlins have a run in the 4th at Chicago. And meanwhile in Atlanta it's still all Giants, 9-0.
We said Barry Zito 3-0 career in Atlanta.
He's throwing a 2-hitter right now.
He likes to pitch there, and that's a hot hitting team that he's shutting down.
Espinosa launches one way up in the upper deck and way foul.
There's no way those people thought they had any chance of getting a foul ball, and they sat in their seats tonight. I mean, that's as good as winning the lottery. You're in the third deck in serious foul territory down the right field line, and you catch a foul ball? No way.
And I've never seen a foul ball hit out of this park.
I thought that one had a chance.
1-2 to Danny, way outside. Jesus Flores to follow. And it looks like there's a shark in the waters with a foot up on the second deck step of the dugout. Roger Bernardina. Espinosa reaches out and taps it to the pitcher for the first out. Take the Nats with you everywhere you go during the second half of the season. Subscribe to MLB.tv. Every out-of-market game, that's when you're out of the market. Live online on your favorite device in HD quality. Visit Nationals.com for more details and to order. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere.
Looks like Jesus Flores scrapped that Kevin Youkilis move that he did a couple of times tonight. Maybe trying to relax his top hand, relax his hands, but he's got them both together right now.
Flores out to the gap in left center, but it's hanging up. Jason Bay reaches it, 2 outs, and here comes Bernardina. Tonight's copyrighted telecast, presented by authority of the Washington Nationals, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Terry Collins will go matchup here. So 2 hitters retired by Ramirez, and he will go lefty-lefty. A pinch hitter, a pitching change, and a new pinch hitter in a moment. For starting lineups, in-game updates, and that's team coverage you can't afford to miss. Sign up for Masson mobile alerts. You can text Nationals to 29292 and get all hooked up.
You probably got a text that Roger Bernardina's not hitting anymore. It's Mark DeRosa.
And that he will be facing Josh Edgin, a 30th rounder just 2 years ago out of Three Springs, Pennsylvania. Hadn't pitched above A ball through last year.
And maybe that text would have had a smiley face on it. Edgin, 3-pitch guy, fastball, slider, change. Fastball averages 93 miles an hour.
Only thing I can say to that is LOL. See, I'm up to date on some of this stuff.
You are. You're so hip.
Yeah. I don't know. Huey Lewis says it's hip to be square, and I believe it.
You just went from hip to an 80s reference.
Yep. Not that long ago for some of us. And a 1-0 pitch. Mark DeRosa ripping. It's inside, and he fouls it. Mark is a pinch hitter, 2 for 7 on the year. He's always hit the Mets well. As a Brave, as a Cub. Some time with the Giants, though he was never healthy there. Some time in St. Louis, and he wasn't healthy there either.
I thought Davey Johnson might leave Roger in to hit off the lefty just to be better defensively in the 9th inning. Or maybe he goes with Rick Ankiel in center. Moves Bryce Harper to right field and goes with his best defensive lineup. Burn DeRosa, but in a 1-run baseball game, Davey will definitely go with his best defensive unit in the 9th inning.
Tyler Clippard has thrown enough to be ready, and he's just ready for his entrance to the field to throw 8 more. And DeRosa will take a fastball away, 3-2. Hey, you never know. Get a man on here. You got Lombardozzi next, a good contact man, then a guy with pop after that, Harper. Nats will take it. Base runners have been hard to come by tonight. That's only the 4th man they've had on base this evening. First walk by any pitcher in this game. Don't forget to check out our friends down in Woodbridge, the Potomac Nationals at Fitzner Stadium. 590-2311, area code 703, or log on to PotomacNationals.com for all your ticket, promotion, and fun high A-ball information. Lombardozzi, first pitch swinging. He's 0 for 3 tonight with 2 grounders and a strikeout.
I'm sure Terry Collins will throw over at least once to make sure Mark DeRosa doesn't think about going first move. But if they forget about Mark, he can ambush you with a stolen base here with 2 outs.
Yeah, for a moment I thought maybe he would pinch run and keel. Maybe have him come in and play center field, move Harper over for the top of the 9th. We'll see how Davey plays it. The only thing is you would lose Michael Morse in a 1-0 game, and if something went wrong in your extra innings, there goes one of your big horses. Former Net Miguel Batista throwing for the Mets. Lombardozzi got a piece of it to stay alive. That was a hard breaking ball right in on his hands. Marlins have stretched their lead at Chicago to 3-0 on an Omar Infante home run, his 8th of the year. They play in the 4th inning. Harper next. Runner goes. Pitches up. DeRosa is in there. First steal of the year for Mark DeRosa.
Well, Terry Collins didn't check him at first base. Davey Johnson seeing that. Trent Jewett seeing that. Gives him the green light. If you're not going to pay attention to me, I will gladly steal second base. Heads up baseball from the Nationals and Mark DeRosa.
His 23rd career stolen base. Now a base hit doubles the lead. Although they're playing really shallow in center field and in right field. Lombardozzi, left field line. That'll make it 2-0. DeRosa scores easily, and Steve Lombardozzi delivers his 11th RBI.
And that was huge. High fives around in the stands. Why not? I think the theme of the second half of the season so far, number 1, outstanding starting pitching, but number 2, intelligent, aggressive base running. We saw it in Miami, continues here tonight. Mark DeRosa having a great night off the bench, drawing a walk, stealing a base. Lombardozzi with the big double. to put the Nats up by 2. How big was that?
You know, there was a time during the season when the Nationals had the second lowest stolen base total in the National League. The one that DeRosa just swiped was number 64. The Nats are in the top 6 in the league in running now.
It might have been the biggest of the year.
Here's Bryce Harper. Breaking ball to the inner half.
That's one that Bryce looked at, engaged. If he goes back in there in the inner half with that breaking ball, that's his turbo zone. That's his happy place.
Trying to paint Edgin, missing away. So he's given up a walk, a steal, and a double in lefty-lefty matchups here. Breaking ball hit hard and right at Ike Davis. Tyler Clippard for the final 3 outs. Cedeno, Wright, and Hairston. The Nats lead by 2. Two nothing into the top of the ninth. Agility with our National League leaders. Your mission, our commitment. Visit agilitycorp.com. Major League Baseball ranks in the pitching department. Look at that, 51 wins. The ERA is the best. Opponent's batting average the best. Fewest homers, fewest hits. It's amazing. And, of course, fewest runs goes along with the ERA. Tyler Clippard will face Ronnie Cedeno, David Wright, and Scott Hairston. Top 9 for New York.
Well, Tyler Clippard coming off an adventurous outing Sunday in Miami. Loaded the bases only to get 3 outs in a row. Usually with Tyler Clippard, it's uneventful. That one was, but this one a save opportunity. That one was not. So 4-pitch guy, fastball, slider / cutter. Curveball change.
And by the way, on the double switch the Mets made last inning, this is Josh Tolley, the left-handed hitting catcher, leading off as Ronnie Cedeno was removed in favor of Murphy at second base. Nothing like strike one. Tolley jacks one to right, base hit. David Wright will represent the tying run, not the lead run, thanks to that big double by Lombardozzi.
Let's check out David Wright's last at bat. Where did they work him? Everything away. And check out the pitch sequence. Ross Detweiler, fastball away, off the plate. Another fastball away for strike one, 93 miles an hour. Another fastball in the outer half. That one misses high. Then he tries for a third time. That one caught a little more plate. And Wright hit a double to right center.
Tyler Clippard's pitches, as a rule, move into a right-handed batter. So Flores calling for some jammage here. And that's a changeup that's over the plate, but look at the late dip. That thing was a strike for a while.
Well, every time you see a catcher set up middle in with a power hitter late in the game when he represents the tie and run, you get a little bit nervous, but then you see Tyler Clippard throw that changeup like that, and everything's fine.
Then he goes fastball up. Counts even 1-1. And David Wright, good success against Clippard. 4 hits, 2 of them home runs. Off speed. 2-1.
Well, trying to induce a ground ball double play right here, staying down in the zone for obvious reasons. You don't want to give David Wright anything he can lift. And Detweiler had success on the outer half. Let's see if they go back out there again. Looks like they're coming in.
No high strike call there. 3-1.
Yeah, 80-mile-an-hour changeup. Looked like it had plate, but was it too high? Borderline. Call goes Wright's way.
Yeah, Flores just kind of snapped it down to the end, trying to steal that call. 3-1 now. Look out with a 2-run difference. David Wright all over that one. Straight back it went. 93, and the count's 3-2.
Yeah, tough pitch for Tyler Clippard. Jesus Flores right here. 3-2 count. Tie and run at the plate. But David Wright just told you by chasing that 3-1 fastball up that he's thinking about tying the game. If you're Clippard right here, maybe you try to throw one a little bit higher. Not necessarily throw a strike in a 3-2 count.
Base hit on a pitch that was sitting up. A high changeup. And maybe you feel fortunate that ball stayed in the park.
Well, this is the MO for the Mets all season long. They're grinders. They kill you with singles. They kill you with good at-bats. And this is just another example from David Wright. And I think if you ask Tyler Clippard, you feel pretty lucky that that ball was hit on the ground. And decision time for Terry Collins. Do you bunt Scott Hairston, your 4-hole hitter right now? I think if that's the kind of ball club you are, you're scrappy, you're grinders, you do bunt your 4-hole hitter and try to extend this baseball game.
Yep. Yeah, we're not talking about a 30 home run a year guy here, although Hairston is having one of his career years in that department. Jordani Valdespin. That's interesting for Jason Bay. Could be a decoy. First pitch fastball, 93.
And maybe you give him one chance to drive in some runs and then you put on a bunt, but looks like Terry Collins going to play it straight up and let his 4-hole hitter hack.
Hairston 0 for 1 with a ground ball, career against Clippard. Flores not giving anything away on location till the last moment. He had moved to his right, and then Clippard threw it way upstairs, up and in.
Yeah, high fastball. Watch the late tail on it. No chance of catching up there.
Hairston, not a great at bat. Last time up, when Wright was sitting at third and nobody out, he was out of control when he struck out swinging. Looked like it was off the plate.
Fastball 94 on the black. Maybe a little off the plate. Didn't get the call.
Two on, nobody out. Top of the ninth in a two-run game. Josh Tolley already in the game as the catcher. Pulled the ball for a base hit to right, and then David Wright pulled one to left.
And the only one that counts is the guy standing on first base, David Wright.
26,342 making lots of noise to try to get their team to that first or second out here. Jammed him, but it's out of play. 81 on the changeup. Johnny and Ray are in the house tonight. WB Mason presents Nats Extra Post Game as soon as this one's over. And the Nats set down Hairston in another crucial situation.
And just a challenge fastball, 94 right down the middle. You see the four-seam rotation, straight as a string. Third strikeout of the night for Hairston. Thanks for coming.
Interesting move by Terry Collins here in the ninth inning. Jordani Valdespin, 260 hitter, 2 for 19 as a pinch hitter, and both of them home runs.
At least one was against the Nationals last time they were here.
I'm looking it up. That thought just crossed my mind. That was in the 6th inning of a Nats 7-6 12-inning win on June 5th. Ross Detweiler started that game. First pitch changeup, and he created a helicopter swing with one hand on that one.
A good call by Jesus Flores. And most pinch hitters come off the bench hunting that first pitch fastball. Flores decides to pull the string. Good pitch by Clippard.
Valdespin against Clippard, 0 for 1 career with a fly ball.
Maybe you try that pitch again till he shows you that he sees it. Didn't pick up the first offering.
Target away. That's on the corner. 81 again. It's amazing. Every changeup Clippard has thrown tonight has been exactly the same speed.
It looks like he caught a break according to pitch track, but now you can do two things if you're Clippard. Go that elevator fastball to change his eye level and go back to the change in a 1-2 count. Or go right to the well one more time and triple up on the changeup. And that was supposed to be a fastball up. You saw Jesus Flores give the half stance back there. He wanted it up.
Valdespin's first major league hit this year was on May 7th. A 3-run pinch homer against Jonathan Papelbon. So he hasn't done a whole lot of damage. 2 for 19. But this 24-year-old from the Dominican has connected twice. One ball, 2 strikes. Into right center. Harper watching it. And Valdespin has done it again, unless that's still in the ballpark. That's a home run. The Mets have taken the lead on Jordany Valdespin's third pinch hit home run of the year. And Davy Johnson's going to come out and ask for a review, I believe. Some fans were reaching for that ball. Hard to believe a guy's 3 for 20 as a pinch hitter, and all 3 are home runs. 2 of them against the Nats.
Now check it out. Where is it? It looks like it had distance.
The fan touched it first, then it came down and might have grazed off the green strip up there. Angel Hernandez calling his crew together.
And that might have hit the top of the fence had that fan not reached over.
So 3 of them will go in.
That swing by Valdespin was set up by the fastball in the dirt the previous pitch. Clippard tried to get that up and change his eye level. That 0-2 fastball down didn't serve a purpose. He went back to the changeup, and Valdespin was on it. If he gets that 0-2 fastball in his eyes or gets him to chase up, that changeup behind it is tough to hit.
That is a swing that, if the ruling goes the way we think it will send some shockwaves around the National League East tonight. Valdespin's previous pinch homer was off of Jordan Zimmerman. This one evidently Clippard. Looks like it might have hit the fan in the hand. It definitely hit the green strip. Did it hit the fan in the hand?
That's not a home run. That hit the green strip, and I can't tell if it hit the fan.
It looks to me like it changed directions off the fan's hand. Hit the green strip on the way down. Boy, this will be tough to call.
This is a tough one.
Here they come. Home run. And the Nationals have been shocked by the Mets here in the top of the 9th. 1 out. It's a 3-2 game with Ike Davis and Andres Torres, the next 2 hitters. Unbelievable that Jordany Valdespin could do what he's done 3 times this year. Pinch hit home runs on Jonathan Papelbon, Jordan Zimmerman, and Tyler Clippard.
Well, it was a changeup down, and he sat on it. The pitch before that, the fastball in the dirt, the 0-2 pitch, set up that changeup right there. He looked for it. That's a good call by the umps. I think that hit that fan right in the hands.
Valdespin got to second base and then saw the signal by Chris Conroy, the second base umpire. Ike Davis against Clippard now, up and away. That is a shocker.
Well, if you can find a way to get out of this, you got Zimmerman, Morrison, LaRoche due up in the bottom of the 9th.
One ball, one strike. Mike Gonzalez up for the second time tonight. Mets have closer issues. As mentioned, Frank Francisco's on the DL. Ramon Ramirez with 1 save has already pitched. And there's a swing and a miss. A foul tip held on for the second out.
I mean, you got to give Terry Collins a little bit of credit taking his left fielder Jason Bay out of there.
Yeah,
Valdespin. I mean,
5 homers this year, 3 of them pinch hits.
You're thinking, really? And it ends up putting them ahead 3-2.
Next batter, Andres Torres, 1 for 3. We'll switch around to the left side. .193 from that side of the plate. That's surprising for him.
Well, if you're on defense right now, you got to pick yourself up off the mat, get back in there, put your batting gloves on, put your helmet on, and find a way to pull this thing out. It was a serious punch to the gut, but that's baseball. Things like that happen, and the Nats have found a way to make it work more times than not.
Bobby Parnell has 2 saves. He's the active leader in saves in that injured Mets bullpen. Clippard missing upstairs.
But he suffered his first blown save since taking over for Frank Francisco on July 14th in Atlanta, allowing 3 runs in the 9th. I believe that was his last outing.
Popped in the air right side. Lombardozzi out. A long, hard to take top of the 9th comes to an end. Zimmerman, Morse, and LaRoche are due-ups. The Mets now lead at 3-2.
We'll be with you for our Nets Extra Post game in just a couple of minutes, hopefully with the Nats pulling it out, presented by WB Mason. Valdespin has done the job every time he's been a pinch hitter this year.
Yeah, he has, Johnny. He looks like to me he's just looking for a ball to hit hard. And with 2 strikes in that situation, I think, you know, it's not second guess, but you throw changeup to hitters that are not big hitters. You're just enhancing their ability to get the bat barrel out front and speed up the bat. I thought he had him set up for a fastball before he threw the ball in the dirt, and FP talked about that. So, but anyway, it's one of those things that happens. We've got 3 outs right here to make some damage.
And you got Zimmerman, you got Morse and LaRoche coming up. Let's go back up to the guys upstairs.
All right, thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Ray. Jordani Valdespin stays in to play left field. So he batted for Jason Bay, takes over in left. And now Bobby Parnell for the Mets. 3 ERA. Now, not all of those saves and opportunities that come in the 9th inning. You can get a blown save as a setup guy in a 7th or 8th inning of a game. So he's done some closing during his career. He has 9 major league saves. Most he's ever had in the season, 6 last year for the Mets, but he's spelling Frank Francisco right now.
Yeah, 2-pitch guy, big fastball, averaging 96 miles an hour. He's got a 12.6 curveball at 83 miles an hour on average that he throws. And like I said, last time out, suffered his first blown save. July 14th at Atlanta, allowed 3 runs in the 9th inning.
Ryan Zimmerman 0 for 3 tonight, couple of strikeouts. Power matchups here in the bottom of the 9th. A little bit off the plate. Zimmerman career against Parnell 4 for 10 with a home run and 5 RBIs. That's outside as well. 2 identical pitches.
2 fastballs trying to hit the outer half. And if you're Parnell, you better be careful if you try to make the adjustment and get some plate right here in a 2-0 count to a hot hitter. You tried to find the corner away. If you readjust and get too much plate here, it could be loud.
There it goes. Right field, but he didn't get it. Off the end of the bat, it'll fall short of the track to Hairston. Looked good off the bat and then got out there and just died for the first out.
Well, it had the sound, and you thought he got him. And this one did have way more plate than the first 2. Good extension by Zimmerman, and anytime you see something go to right field on a warm night, you're thinking it's got a chance. But that one fell a little bit short.
Next up will be Michael Morse.
There are no easy outs for Parnell in this inning.
Michael Morse is 1 for 3 career against this hard-throwing right-hander. Michael locked up on a first pitch breaking ball. He did go around.
Now I'm looking around the ballpark right now. Not one Nats fan has left. Everybody's sticking around till the end. Usually this time you see some people filing out, but they've learned by watching this ball club the first half of the season. Anything can happen.
Target is the outside corner. Jordan Zimmerman and Chris Young, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. That's a breaking ball that catches part of the plate on its way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, Michael Morse looking fastball in a 1-1 count, got the curveball. That one was hanging there for a second. He throws that again with 2 strikes. He'll get off a good swing.
Left-handed Adam LaRoche next. Nats don't have a hit from their 3, 4, 5 batters tonight. That ball is well hit to right. A 1-hopper, and the Nats have the tying run aboard for Adam LaRoche.
And maybe Rick Ankiel comes out to pinch run right here. Or Ian Desmond, how about that? Well, that'll tell you about what the Nats are thinking as far as putting Desmond on the DL. Anytime you get into a game, you can't backdate the games.
Yeah.
So that must mean he's feeling good, and we might see him tomorrow. It's a good sign. Parnell long to the plate. He got a chance to steal second early in this at-bat.
Desmond 13 out of 17 on the year. Holding. LaRoche first pitch out of play left side. Adam LaRoche last home run nearly 3 weeks ago at Colorado.
Valdespin looks like he's warming up in the Mets bullpen. Look how deep the Mets left fielder's playing. No doubles. Nothing can be hit over his head, but that's as deep as I've seen anybody play at Nats Park this year.
Yeah, on the opposite side for sure. Target outside corner, Desmond running. Base hit! Base hit! And Desmond's going to third. The shortstop had to make a subtle little move toward the bag, and Adam LaRoche tucked it right up the middle. Tying run there with 1 out.
And there's the hole created by the shift. I mean, the whole left side. Desmond got a great jump. That bag was absolutely stolen. No shot for Josh Tolley to throw out Desmond. Game on. First and third, 1 out, bottom of the 9th.
Tyler Moore has never faced Bobby Parnell. Dan Worthen, the Mets pitching coach, to the mound.
And kind of thinking ahead right here. If Adam LaRoche gets into scoring position, do you roll the dice if you're Davey Johnson and use your last bench guy besides Jonathan Solano and get Rick Ankiel's speed on the bases?
Yeah.
I mean, you shoot yourself defensively, but Tyler Moore could move to first base. Rick Ankiel could move to the outfield.
Sometimes managers have been known to use a pitcher in such a situation. Tyler Moore got the Nats on the board in the 5th inning.
Opposite field tater of the line drive variety. And Davey Johnson will say, I'll take one more of those, please.
Nats down by just a run. Now on the road, the Mets are going to play for the double play here.
If you're Bobby Parnell right now, you blew the last save opportunity you had. 3 hard-hit balls in the inning. You got to be thinking.
Tyler Moore goes up hacking, and that breaking ball got to the top of the barrel. But nobody for the Mets really playing what you would call in here. Closest guy to home plate is Ike Davis, who has to hold LaRoche at first.
A hard hit ball by Zimmerman, hard hit ball by Morse, hard hit ball by LaRoche.
Target away. Tyler Moore takes a strike, and it's 0-2.
Now Moore looking for a fastball, and Bobby Parnell got away with one because that ball had some serious hang time on it. Wow. Now you got a battle.
Tyler Moore strikes out. Nasty breaking ball, 2 down. It's up to Danny Espinosa. Parnell known for his fastball. He's had a great hook tonight.
Curveball, curveball, curveball.
Danny tonight 1 for 3 with a bunt base hit. Now the Mets infield, especially David Wright, can't really back up too deep here with 2 outs. Have to respect Danny's speed. They'll play the second baseman deeper than the other infielders. Ike Davis plays in front of Adam LaRoche at first. And he throws a breaking ball to the left-handed batter that's low.
Well, I think the breaking balls, besides that one, have been up because of the fact that Ian Desmond is on third base. If you're Parnell right now, you don't want to choke off a breaker in the dirt and have this game be tied.
Nothing but hooks from the right-hander who can throw mid-90s.
Now you can almost tell when the curveball's coming by the way Josh Tolley sets up. He spreads his feet really wide on the off-speed so that he can be a bigger target to block it should it be in the dirt. Fastball, his feet are more underneath him. On the curveball, his feet are way wider.
3-2 Mets, 2 outs, bottom 9. He tried to go side door with the breaking ball. It stayed outside. 2-1.
A guy that throws 100 miles an hour throwing a lot of breaking balls here with a tie and run on third base. Fastball getting hit, go to the breaker.
And until somebody can make contact with that breaking ball, he'll probably keep on throwing it.
And another breaking ball, totally with the wide base, ready to block it. Should it be in the dirt? Espinosa over the top.
Espinosa 1 for 3 career against Bobby Parnell.
Boy, every time you see a guy step off the mound with a tie and run on third base, you always think about that balk to tie the game up. Ian Desmond walking way down the third baseline. Anything gets away from Tolle, he's going to score easily.
Espinosa just got a piece of it.
And that's about 8 or 9 curveballs in a row from a guy that throws 100. 3 to Tyler Moore. And I think 5 to Danny Espinosa now.
Yeah, he hasn't seen a fastball yet. Desmond walking down the third baseline. 2-2 pitch. Espinosa ties the game. Guess what he got? A fastball. It's 3-3, bottom 9.
Second consecutive blown save for Bobby Parnell, and how clutch is Danny Espinosa. Nats down to their last strike. 8 curveballs in a row from Parnell, and you're on the fastball. That's good hitting, folks. Short swing, 2-strike approach, right back up the middle. Tie ball game, and the go-ahead run on second base.
It's one of the hardest balls Danny's hit all year.
That was clutch.
Davey Johnson not feeling he can run for Adam LaRoche here.
What a ball game. Are you kidding me?
Jesus Flores, the hitter. They are playing a pretty good power hitter, shallow in center and in right. He'll take a breaking ball in there, and he didn't like the call.
We have seen so many incredible baseball games this season. Unbelievable. And right back to the curveball, right? Fastball not working, go to the hammer. Every hard hit ball this inning's been on the fastball from Parnell. And he goes right back to the hammer.
Tying, or rather winning run now is LaRoche at second.
Well, it's going to have to be in the gap to score LaRoche. Mets outfield cheating way in.
Flores strikes out, and this one's going to the 10th inning. The Nats with a very courageous comeback in the bottom of the 9th after the Mets had all the momentum. innings this year, 1-1 on the road. The Nats are 5-5, and at home they're 5-3 in extra innings. Bunch of changes here. Tyler Moore will move to right field and replace Michael Morse after Ian Desmond. Hinge ran for him. Desmond stays into play short. And then Steve Lombardozzi will depart second base and play left field. Shuffling Danny Espinosa over to second. And here's left-hander Mike Gonzalez.
20th time he'll take the ball this year. 1.98 ERA, 0 for 1 in save opportunities. 13 strikeouts versus 7 walks. And he's a 3-pitch guy. Fastball, slider change, fastball in the low to mid 90s as we saw the last couple of times out. Velocity up for Michael Gonzalez.
Facing Daniel Murphy, the second baseman. Perfect breaking ball to the outside corner. Well, tough night for a couple of closers. That ball's going to get by the mound. Espinosa, bare hand, and not able to get much on that throw. That's about the only chance Danny had. And Daniel Murphy, coming off the bench, is 2 for 2. Michael Gonzalez falls way off to the third base side.
Yeah, that's one time his form hurt him, because that would have been a routine comebacker, but because he falls off the mound, like you pointed out, turns into a tough play for Espinosa. And the Mets with the leadoff man on here in the 10th.
Well, the Mets just keep on plugging away here. A team with very little power. They don't steal bases. They just get the bat on the ball and aggravate you. That bunch right at Zimmerman on the charge, and he'll whip it right down the line to Adam LaRoche. 5-3 sacrifice good.
A good bunt by Neuenhuis, getting Murphy the go-ahead run into scoring position. You know what? Nobody said this thing was going to be easy. It's the big leagues. You're going to have to do this every single night. But guess what? You got 9 more days of this after tonight.
Yeah, and it's only July. The Mets still have to go to New York twice.
2 more against the Mets, 4 against the Braves. Then you go to New York for 3. That's what playing in the NL East in your division is going to be like every single night. Here you go.
No balls and 1 strike to Ruben Tejada. One for 4 tonight. Base hit back in the 3rd. Hits this one in the air to right. Sending Moore back. Tyler gets under it. Good job of sprinting to his spot and then putting on the brakes. 2 down.
Yeah, that one was sending Moore back more.
And remember, he's a first baseman by trade. Another guy like Lombardozzi, who's played admirably in the outfield this year. Left-hander Tim Burdack. Because the starters pitch pretty deep, each bullpen plenty of arms left. Matthews for the Nats. There's Alani, Stammen, Rodriguez still available there. For the Mets, Batista, Beato, and Roush. John Roush, the former Nat. Well, Josh Tolley, huge hit. Came in to catch on a double switch and led off the 9th inning with a base hit when he was behind in the count.
Lombardozzi shallow and left. Harper extremely shallow and switched over to the opposite field side of second base for Josh Tolley.
And Murphy has good speed at second. And right now, the corner infielders are probably 40 feet from him when the pitch is delivered, so he can get a huge lead. Now Desmond creeps over to tap the glove and let him know he's around. Just missing.
Well, you definitely don't want to pitch around this guy to get to the next guy.
You are right.
The one thing you know about Josh Tolley, he's going to put the ball in play. You just hope it's right at somebody.
He was diving, and that ball went right by him, up and in.
Well, you got to come to Josh Tolley right here. You do not want to face David Wright. Obviously, Ryan Matthews would be brought in to face David Wright. So you'd much rather take your chances with the left-hander in the box.
Breaking ball drops in.
A pretty good slider right here, 3-1 from Michael Gonzalez. Tolley looking for a fastball. He got the slider. I wonder if they go with it again.
Left-handers against Gonzalez hitting 095. That ball flared to left and no room for Lombardozzi.
Lombardozzi's playing so far over there. He had a chance to go about 8 rows up and still catch it in the stands. I mean, he's almost on the line.
Tolley 0 for 1 career against Gonzalez. And the 3-2 left center. That is trouble. The Nats had him played over by the line, and he plugs the gap to give the Mets a 4-3 lead. And Josh Tolley, like Daniel Murphy, off the bench tonight, 2 for 2.
That's just how these guys do it. They just won't go away in the standings and during the game. Fights it to the very end, a lot like the team they're playing. And Josh Tolley with a big swing on a 3-2 pitch puts the Mets ahead 4-3 in the 10th.
And as you mentioned, no way Mike Gonzalez pitches to David Wright. So the Mets, 4 runs on 5 hits the last 2 innings. Keep pushing the envelope against the Nats here. 4-3. And forcing them now, Nationals, to use their 4th reliever. Jonathan Solano will come in and catch and bat 9th on a double switch. So he was in the pitcher's spot. The Nats pitcher will bat 8th. and that will be Ryan Matthews.
Well, very interesting 32nd game for Ryan Matthews. That Davey Johnson brings in Ryan to face David Wright at first base open. 2 outs. You would think they'd put David Wright on, but usually the guy in the game intentionally walks the hitter, and then you bring in the reliever. So that would tell me that Davey Johnson is thinking about going after David Wright in this situation with his right-hander, Ryan Matthews. 3-pitch guy, fastball, slider, split, and he's been good lately. And good all year.
Scoreless relief, 11 of his last 12 times out, spanning nearly 12 innings with 9 strikeouts. Since he came back 1 month ago today from that foot problem he had. And David Wright, another typical night for him. He went 0 for 2 first couple of times up to be 0 for his last 9. And now with Josh Tolley at second base, he'll be up there trying for a 3 for 5 night.
Going right after David Wright.
Quickly 0-2.
Ryan Matthews with the fastball down the zone. Good sink on the 93-mile-an-hour offering. Good frame by Solano on the backside to catch that and make it look like a strike.
I think Wright a little surprised by that call, considering the high strike we saw earlier.
I think Wright's a little surprised that they're pitching to him.
Well, time for him to gear it up. It's no balls, 2 strikes.
That was better than strike 2.
Agreed.
A 9-1-2 due up in the bottom of the 10th for the Nats. Can they pick themselves up off the mat one more time tonight?
Yeah, and then Zimmerman, if anybody gets on. David Wright scorches it right at Danny Espinosa. So the Mets will settle for a run in the top of the 10th. Solano, Lombardozzi, Harper, hopefully Zimmerman straight ahead. The last half hour to 45 minutes of it, Jordany Valdespin, a pinch hit 3-run homer in the 9th inning with 1 out against Tyler Clippard. The reason this one is still going on.
And a 1-2 count. Change up to go to 0-2. Fastball in the dirt to get to 1-2, and then a 1-2 change up on the inner half. Umpires review it. The 3-2 Mets. Then you go to the bottom of the 9th. Nats down to their last strike. Danny Espinoza with 2 strikes and 2 outs scores Ian Desmond. And then another big 2-out knock, this time from Josh Tolley. Split the difference in the outfield. Lombardozzi way over on the left field line, and that created a pretty big gap in left center, and that's where we stand.
Tim Burdick has 4 career saves, 1 last year. And the Mets trying to just piece together their bullpen here without Frank Francisco.
Yeah, 3-pitch guy, fastball, slider, changeup. Mostly fastball, slider. Doesn't throw the changeup very often. Whatever's left of your rally napkin, pull it out one more time.
Jonathan Solano's never faced this lefty. He leads off after coming in to catch on the double switch. That ball is ripped into left center. And the Mets had him scouted properly, playing way off the line, or that could have been a gapper. And Jonathan Solano continues to impress us with his offense.
Here we go again. Game on. You got a good bunter and Steve Lombardozzi right now. He'll be sacrificing, you would think. And then it'll be up to Bryce Harper and Ryan Zimmerman. Leadoff man on here in the 10th. What a ball game. Are you kidding me?
Lombardozzi 1 for 4 with a RBI double. They'd be happy for him to return to the dugout. 1 for 4. And that time he had his feet in motion and looked like he was bunting for a hit.
That was an odd looking sacrifice. If he gets that down, David Wright would definitely had a chance to go to second base and get Solano. Right on top of Lombardozzi. It looks like he was bunting that to third. If you're going to sacrifice in this situation, the farthest guy from you is the first baseman, Ike Davis, because he has to hold the runner on. Bunt the ball to first, you get the job done.
He was much more stationary on that one. And it actually took a good play by David Wright to throw him out. 5-3. Both teams executing some small ball here in the late innings.
Nice job by Steve Lombardozzi right there. That's not easy, folks. Everybody in the ballpark knows your butt. You got guys crashing all over the place, and you still deaden the ball enough to get Solano the tying run into scoring position. That was pretty.
And David Wright could not afford to let that ball take one more bounce to see if it might go foul. If he did, he would have lost the play at first. So Bryce Harper, who scorched the ball last time up, a drive right at Ike Davis at first, steps in. He's 1 for 4 tonight. Rally caps all over the ballpark. Lefty-lefty matchup. Bryce Harper is 1 for 1 against Tim Burdick, and that's outside.
Whatever happens in this ball game, if you came to the park tonight, you saw a classic, and you definitely got your money's worth. Wow.
Harper lines it. That's over the head of the right fielder. Bounces off the wall. He will stop at second. No, he won't. That throw is not in time. Gets away. Harper's at third base with 1 out.
Unbelievable.
Reckless abandon on the bases, and it pays off.
Unbelievable. That ball was a hair away from going into the Mets dugout and this game being over.
Game-tying triple. Zimmerman and Desmond, 2 great clutch hitters next.
It's the game of the year right here. You're seeing it right now. And we said it earlier, calm before the storm last night in Miami. And anytime you're throwing Bryce Harper in their inner half right now, you're doing him a favor. And of all the hits he's had, that might have been the hardest one right there. Good late tough slide into David Wright. You see Burdick backing it up, but if that ball was about 5 feet more to the left, it goes in the dugout, and this ball game's over. Unbelievable. I'll say it again.
Ryan Zimmerman. You would think they would walk Zimmerman and Desmond to pitch to Adam LaRoche.
Desmond's got that oblique thing going on. They might get brave and try to pitch to him. I think that would be a mistake.
They pitch to him. He could suicide squeeze a bunt home. I mean, no way they pitch to Zimmerman here.
Well, Bryce is already tired of standing at third base, so that makes sense. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you're missing if you don't come to the ballpark. Why wouldn't you want to see this every night? Unreal.
Now we'll see if they walk Desmond. I mean, you've got great speed at third. You've got a guy who's done lots of leading off in the batter's box. And if Ian Desmond can't swing the bat, he could bunt the Nats to a win here.
Well, I think adrenaline might take over in the situation, and I think they're going to walk Ian Desmond, like you said originally, and go for the left-on-left matchup.
Well, if you're Terry Collins and you've got to deal with the New York media every day, you better walk these two guys.
Well, if you're managing because of the media, you shouldn't be managing.
Well, I think it's good baseball for him to do this. And now it's lefty-lefty, so Adam LaRoche should be looking for a fly ball.
I mean,
Pedro Beato, he won't be coming in to face LaRoche.
You add on, Carp, the fact that this ball club got in at 4 in the morning last night, and on top of what they're doing here,
yeah,
to me, this is the game of the year, no matter how it ends.
Well, and after a game like this, if they win it, they may not be able to fall asleep till 4.
Maybe the announcers, too.
Here's LaRoche with a chance to win it. The Mets have to play the infield in, the outfield in. And remember, there's still only one out.
Well, this is the proverbial right man, the right spot. Adam Cool. When all heck is breaking loose, this is the coolest cat in the building. It's the guy you want at the plate, trust me. And you can't tell if it's his first at-bat in a scoreless game or, you know, bases loaded, bottom of the 10th, tie ball game against the Mets.
The only batter Tim Burdack has retired was trying to make an out. Single, sacrifice, triple, 2 walks. Adam LaRoche has faced him 11 times. This is a crucial pitch for the Mets right here. And he gets the strike. Adam looking for something above knee high that he can drive.
Maybe sitting on a slider right there in a 1-0 count.
Ground ball, right side. They're going to get the force at home. And then Tolley, who might have had a shot at first, decided not to throw. Harper out at the plate, bases loaded with Tyler Moore coming up. And now he can go to Pedro Beato.
I think he was sitting on the slider. He got it and couldn't elevate it.
Three-two on the fielder's choice. And why shouldn't it go down to 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th? Zimmerman represents the winner. Is loaded, 2 outs. And the Mets will go with the right-hander Pedro Beato, who has never faced Tyler Moore.
Well, you see 5th game of the year for Beato. 4 strikeouts versus just 1 walk. And if you're Tyler Moore walking to the plate, you're going to see a fastball, cutter, curveball change, 4-pitch guy. And you have to realize that the pressure is on the pitcher, not you.
Hasn't pitched a whole lot this year in an injury-filled season. Tyler Moore is 1 for 4 with a home run. Winning run is Ryan Zimmerman at third base. Mets infield backs way up. Breaking ball is in there. Beato works from the third base end of the pitching rubber and creates a nasty angle for right-handed batters trying to hang in.
4 curveballs in a row for Tyler Moore. 3 from Parnell, 1 from Beato. 5 curveballs in a row to Tyler Moore. Pretty good block by Tolley.
Four, bottom 10 with the bases loaded, 2 outs. The ultimate challenge for a hitter, 0-2 here. Target way outside. Ooh. Lost his release point, and that was an off-speed pitch that almost hit him. And if F.P. Santangelo was switch hitting, he would have walked right into that ball. Is that what you're trying to tell me with your body in your shirt?
Sorry, I didn't mean to run into you right there.
Okay, I'm still in the booth. And a 1-2. That ball gets away! Here comes Zimmerman! The Nationals win on a wild pitch. How about the comeback kids from D.C. tonight?
And that tells you all you need to know about this ball club. Tough travel day. You get in the wee hours of the morning. You play an extra inning game where you get a punch to the gut on a 3-run home run that barely clears the right field wall. You blow a save. You come back a couple of times and find a way to win it. And it doesn't matter how you get it done. I think Ryan Zimmerman stumbled coming down the line. Let's watch. I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and I think he hesitated and then went again. And that has to be the game of the year. What a game. What a comeback. Just another lousy W for your Washington Nationals. Wow.
Unbelievable way to come back twice when your heart's been broken in the top of the 9th and then the top of the 10th, and the never say die Nats just keep on going after the Mets. 52nd win of the year, 16 games over 500, and that puts New York, a hard to take for them, 7 games back.